if I could jump in, Miss Candy,
Yes, go ahead.
just to respond back, right? So I just introduced three examples, right? And we're talking about the YouTube space, right? And so would you say that Earn Your Leisure, Dave Ramsey, and Wall Street Trapper are fairly successful and have a high sub count and viewership? Would you say that, Big J? Would you agree to that?
Can like you please repeat that? Because I'm looking at
No, no,
something else.
no.
But
It's
go
all
ahead.
good. No, I said so when I introduced, because I was going off of what the sister Angelica was talking about in the financial sector, right? And I was saying a form of edutainment. I introduced Earn Your Leisure, Wall Street Trapper, and Dave Ramsey, right? So I gave three different looks. And I said they're all
Hmm.
entertaining, but they provide substantive information and they lead with that. You introduced the other brother, so I'm not familiar with him. I'd also like to throw JT the Pocket Watch in there, right? In Orlando, his homeboy that talks about real
Hmm.
estate,
Yeah, yeah,
right? Okay, so
I'm also familiar with him. I'm familiar with him.
right, so
Yes.
those are five different looks. So would you say they are all successful in this space and provide substantive information?
Uh, I can't really say because
100% without
I
question.
like
Come on, Big J, stop
you
playing.
Yeah,
know.
Yeah,
right. Like they got the
they're
sub count, they got the
successful.
viewer count, right? And
They're
so what I'm
successful,
saying,
yeah.
yeah. So what I'm saying is, you got to meet people where they are. You know who I personally, you one of my personal. There's three. I'm sorry, three of my personal idols, that I look to when it comes to discussing finances. Charlie Munger. Do you know who that is, Big J? That's Warren Buffett's right hand. Charlie
Yes, I
Munger,
heard of that person.
John
Yes.
Rogers, and Michael
Uh-huh.
Lee Chan.
Right. Hmm.
Again,
Yes.
Charlie Munger,
I know who John Rogers. I know who John Rogers is. Or
John
is he
Rogers,
the guy on Fox
Ariel.
News?
No. John Rogers is Ariel Investment. It's the largest
Oh yeah.
black
Okay.
owned
Okay.
investment fund in the country. Matter of fact, his right hand co-president is Melody Hobson, who's married to George Lucas, right? And then Michael Lee
Hmm.
Chin made his billions in Canada with his AIG investment firm, sold that and moved back to Jamaica and has been working, I think, for the last decade to build up Jamaica's infrastructure, right? So those are three people that I look to, and they are straightforward, no entertainment. But what I'm saying is, I can digest the information in multiple forms, and if we keep saying as a people, and I'm doing air quotes, y'all can't see me, but if we keep saying as a people we not monolith, then we gotta meet people where they're at, and we can't shame people for if that's how you ingest the information, that's how you ingest the information, right? There's scripture that talks about you don't feed babies meat, you give them milk because that's where they're at, and then you build them up. I'm on mute.
So if I
But
could
but
just
but
cut in for a second,
but at some point,
I'm sorry, Big J.
Of course.
I just want to
Hey,
clarify
listen,
my
Big J
point. So I
said if
think,
any of them people you named ever looked at a white
Oh,
woman before, they are against
hold
black
on now, because Jelly was going next. Let her go next, and then you can go after her. And I just want to say, I have somebody in the back. I can't see you because we had a full panel of 10 people, and it looks like somebody dropped. If you want to try coming back, you can come back. But go ahead, Jelly.
so I was just saying to clarify my point, I was just interjecting and giving some pushback as to the idea that the only form of content that can be had is edutainment, right? And I was just speaking for myself anecdotally, but I know that I'm not speaking just for myself when I say that, right? So just to clarify, but I'll mute.
hmm
No,
No,
that's
sis, and I agree with you. I wasn't pushing back necessarily on you, just offering a not a counter perspective is wrong, but
Yeah,
just a
I get
different
you.
perspective. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I
Salute,
get you.
salute. Yep.
all I was saying was I was speaking on behalf of Big J. If you don't mention a fine white woman, you know what I'm saying, within that, then what you saying, Chicago Rilla, it don't count.
Wait, what?
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 That was crazy.
That's how
Wait,
Big
what
J
just
be.
happened? I think I missed
He just
it.
be, yo, Big J, yo, because you was on him. Big J, I tried to save you. Really was cooking. You know what I'm saying? I tried to save him and throw some random stuff out there. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Lighten the mood a
You
little bit.
stupid.
Because he'd be like, listen, we got to blame this on the white woman somehow, some way. But I don't know. Big J, defend yourself.
What did I say anything about white people or women?
No, he just
I think
threw a
he's just
curve.
trolling you. He's
Yeah,
just playing with you.
he just
BJ.
threw a curve.
You know what? Though, let me leave. I'm out. I'm
No,
not.
don't leave.
Nah, Big J, don't.
Big J,
Nah,
don't-
Big
don't-
J.
don't
You be
leave.
so angry. Like
I ain't been on the stage with you, shoot,
Yeah.
in months. I think,
It's
man.
all
Don't leave,
Come on,
Big
Big
J.
J. Don't do that. Like he wasn't. I don't want you to
Yeah.
leave.
Hey,
It's
look,
just-
we could really do a good job of practicing all the things that we're complaining about right now. I think we are doing a positive and productive way to disagree with each other without no curses, no screaming and yelling, and get perspective of how you can be educational and entertaining. Wall Street Trapper is a perfect example. The way how he communicates is very entertaining. Maybe not funny, maybe not jokey, haha, but he's very entertaining. And people cannot take out the entertaining part. Even as a teacher, the best teachers are the one that's going to entertain the children when they are getting all this information where they don't even realize that they are learning in the first place. That's how you actually get your kids to get involved in things. When they are having a good time, they forget that they are even learning. So that's one of the blessings with homeschooling, right? Is that you incorporate life with the education. So they're not just learning what's 1 + 1. For example, I took my daughter, she's only 10 years old. I took her to the restaurant and let her eat by herself, either order her own food, figure out the tip and all that. So she's learning mathematics there while engaging in something social, as in and learning confidence in herself to communicate with other grown folks. And so she can have that. So she learned how to speak up. All these things is things that we want to teach our children, but she learned that within real time. So now it's stimulating her mind in a different way. Also, when we take her to community gardens, when she go to the community gardens, she's learning about different animals. She's not scared of worms. She actually is kind of sometimes it's difficult because she brought home like 3 worms and say, "Oh, I got pet worms." And then when they multiply to 6, 7, 8, she's like, "Oh hell no, I don't want these worms anymore." But she learned the value about how worms can duplicate themselves. They don't even need to reproduce with other worms. And so also it turned into a science project. All that happened within just entertaining her as well. So it's not just about Bueller, 1 + 1 is 2. We don't have to do it. We can be entertaining.
And I feel like just because not to sound cocky or anything like that, I'm an entertaining person in my real life, actual life. I can only bring who I am to the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to get an aspect of me. That's why I said it's going to be edutainment to some extent because I'm a jokey person. You know what I'm saying? Like this has been more of a serious stream just because of the content and what we're talking about. But
Miss Candy,
yeah,
did you consider, if you're old enough, I don't know how old you are, and I don't want to ask, but if you are old enough to remember like the Cosby Show, Different World, Do the Right Thing, that era in the 90s, were you entertained and informed by those shows?
I would say yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then look now, when I go back and look now, Sharon, no, I'm bougie. I'm on my art. I'm in my art phase, right? So now I'm going back looking at Cosby Show, and I'm like, oh, that's a Romare Bearden back there. Oh, that's a Jacob Lawrence, right?
Talk your talk.
Y'all on some next level stuff, and that right there is about to make this next point to the question I'm about to ask. So, how do you, as somebody who may not have that knowledge or that intellect to recognize that, be comfortable as somebody who may be confident, right? They don't have the humility to say, hey, listen, I don't know everything, but I'm told that I'm supposed to walk around with this certain level of bravado that I'm, confidence means that, what I mean, that's going to equal more opportunities, etc. And we know that that's not always true. So how do you expect somebody that doesn't understand that you can gain success in being, humble and say, hey, listen, I don't know this. I don't know that. How can you participate in these conversations? You know what I'm saying? How would you feel comfortable to ask the question? Oh, word, y'all talking about finance over here? Or y'all talking about investments over here? You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to seem like the village idiot, right? You don't want to come off as the fool.
Well, that's ego though, Nath. When you in that space, so I'm 52. I'm a lifelong student, brother. I'm in school right now.
No, I get it,
Right.
and I'm
No,
with
no,
you,
but I'm
like,
saying, I'm saying for me, and so,
but no, I want you to take it
go ahead.
away from you. We're talking about
Okay.
somebody that's maybe a little bit younger. I'm a little bit younger.
Oh
than
yeah,
you.
yeah. But
Somebody that's like might be listening and be like, damn, I mean, I want to, but I don't want to come in there and I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't want to seem like this. They hear y'all
Yeah.
laughing and joking in the room.
It's the same message though. Now, my bad for cutting you off. Go ahead, brother Land.
No, I'm
sorry.
listening.
Yeah, I was to say it's the same message though, right? Because that's their ego, right? And so I've always been, because I've always been professor in my neighborhood. I've always worn glasses, so the OGs in my hood has always called me professor. I'm always curious, and so what I tell the young bloods, because I deal with them now, right? I work with mentor teacher brother over in Roseland, my neighborhood, right? And so I encourage them to always remain.
OG, I gotta stop you again. Because I'm trying to get somewhere. Cut you off. I'm not talking about that, right? I'm talking about the cat that he rode the short bus or she rode the short bus to school. They barely graduated. You know what I'm saying? They're an adult now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they work at Walmart or whatever. This ain't to diss nobody or nothing. And they happen to stumble into these conversations with us, right? We got cats out here. They in these chat, they own businesses. They're engineers. They're social workers like you that have been successful. These aren't these people though. These are people that are.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying in general.
I'm embracing that now.
I have an idea to the point.
You get where I'm going?
And what I will say is I have some viewers that have confessed that they are autistic, and they will even at times hit the panel. I think that's up to the channel holder to make those people feel welcome, to open up their space, to allow them to come up and have conversation. I say on every stream, I'm not an expert in anything. I'm just here to have a conversation, and hopefully we can have a good one. And I think if you approach it with that sort of a mentality versus coming in like wagging your finger like you're some master teacher to the world of YouTube, then you will create a space where more people will feel free to come and share their ideas.
It's not just that though, Candy. It keeps going on that. What I'm talking about is somebody that may be a little bit slower, but they have the ability to come in, but they want to participate in the conversation, but they don't have they want to get the knowledge, but they don't know how to ask the questions to get that.
But we've seen a couple of those people come through these spaces, and I don't want to name names like to embarrass them, but I think
it's okay. I'm not embarrassed. You can say
no. No. What I'm saying is though, I think Miss Candy is right on, and what I was gonna say is, you encourage those people that when they're in the space, and I consider myself a servant, right? And so I'm always serving. And I think if you're a content creator or, the host or the channel holder or whatever, that's on you to set what your room looks like. But I also think, Nav, it's good. That's a very one-on-one type conversation. However, if you're self-aware and you're people aware, when you pick up on that in that person, so like Sharon does homeschooling, he may be more quicker to pick up on that person, which is why so many people be on his stage acting like that.
But you also, as the channel holder,
and it's true, right? So a lot of them do, and I know how to handle them where they could just sit there and be a part of the. They don't get an opportunity to be a part of whatever in their mind is the cool kids, right? So when they on a panel, they just sitting there and they say 2 words. That is enough for them, and they like, hey, I'm a part of it. And it is okay to have that hugging type of spirit where they're like, no, come through. You can sit down, talk, have it. What you got to say. And have it environment where everybody get a chance to voice themselves, and also we could teach it through. Nat, you could teach it through you asking those questions that you believe people are afraid to have a conversation about, and make yourself seem as the one that needs to receive, but you're really doing it for the greater audience that is out there that are afraid to communicate.
That's my point. I appreciate that. That's what I was trying to get at. Like, and some people be like, yo, that consists of having emotional intelligence, understanding that there's people that sometimes you got to see them and be like, hey, look, include them in the conversation. Maybe they can contribute, maybe they can't. As a moderator or somebody that's in control of a space, especially like this, you got to be able to be like, okay, this might not be the conversation for you. And you can, make them feel included, but also usher them out respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's something that's above their mental capabilities, that's important. And I struggle with all this because I've done in-person podcasts. I've done podcasts like around people in my home online, and then it's like coming back and getting on panels, and then you be trying to figure out, well, what's the balance? So I've looked at all of y'all as content creators, and I try to get ideas and stuff too. Like I don't necessarily say I want to get back into this game, excuse me, but I be thinking about it like, because some of y'all manage some of this stuff so well, so it's worth thinking about. And Candy, she's the newest one that I've been following, so I'm kind of like watching you a little bit more.
But I have to push back, y'all, because there are some people whose mental capability is only functional to sabotage what you're trying to build. So I have to push back on that, and it. You know what? Let me be fair, right? Because I'm asking. You know what? Let me be fair with it, right? Just for this once. So when somebody who is not articulated or not what's the word, refined, um I believe though there should be a balance. If that person is serious about the content that's being the subject and the content that you know um that's on that live stream or panel, because I think those some people just there just um to throw bombs
Yeah, but Big J, did you hear
that's
what I
not on purpose.
said? If you're self-aware and you're people aware, then you pick up on that and you address that accordingly. But there are genuine people out in this space, and I promise you, we've all came across. I've seen y'all on panels, or most of y'all I've seen it on panels where in comments where they're present, right? And it's one person in particular that I encounter regularly, and I have to be sensitive to the fact that they may be on the spectrum or they may not feel comfortable having the conversation, or they may not be able to articulate their point, right? So if I just focus on the people that are sabotaging, then I miss the opportunity to pour into the person that's actually there for a genuine conversation.
But you can tell the difference, right? You can actually tell the difference of who is and who isn't. The problem I have is, and I know who you're referring to, right? That's why I gave that person the boot. I don't got time for that. How many times you got to tell that person that? Now you might be patient, but I don't. I'm not.
Before you all continue, I want to thank Nidus for joining the panel. Welcome in, Nidus.
When I saw this beauty over here, Candy Cane, I had to get up here, even if at the end of it. I wanted to be near all this. You know what I'm saying?
You're so funny. Thank you for that.
And I want to just say that in real time, we are actually doing it in real time.
Yes,
right?
because as Gabe A has already pointed out, you have a lot of people on this panel who may have very different ideologies and may have underlying beefs, and they are sitting here, Black people communicating together. Nobody is screaming, nobody is yelling, nobody's hollering and calling each other out their names. You can have a civil conversation with people you don't agree with. It is possible. And I'm going to also welcome in Uda on Go. Give me just a second to add him. Welcome to the stage, Uda. Appreciate you coming up. HT Baldwin, hello. Thank you. I see you down there in the chat. And to anybody else that I didn't greet as you're coming in, no matter whose stream you're coming from, I appreciate you viewing us today. Yeah, thank you so much.
Man, this is awesome. I love to see my people get together and have a dope conversation. A really great build on how we can be, lack of a better word, edutainers. I enjoy having a good time. I enjoy learning. I'm just like Chicago Rilla. I am going to be a forever student. I'm always trying to learn something. I mean, I'll be watching videos on how to make my own goddamn gold chains and nonsense like that as well. So I'm always want to be a lifetime learner as well. So shout out to that. We can absolutely have a good time learning.
Yeah, shout out to
Mhm.
everybody up here. We love Sharon in Chicago and Uda, Big J, and everybody. We might bump heads every now and then, but we all like family.
No, 1,000. Shout out to you, Nice. We know you celebrating that birthday still, big homie.
Oh no, it's one day. I don't have
You don't do the month long.
no. It was one day, January 25th. We in February now, so with. But thank you.
Okay, so I know Sharon started streaming late and Tiff started streaming late as well. Basically, the point of this stream, which we kind of got away from, I just want to refresh you in case you wanted to comment on it. You don't have to stay here. We can keep it moving as well. Come correct nothing. Who's this? Okay. Okay, I know who you are. I'm adding to the stage. Royce, correct? Can I get a mic check from you?
Yeah,
You
it's
got
me.
You got
You
to
have an echo.
Yeah, I always have one. I'm not gonna be long though.
Okay, well,
You
welcome in.
All right,
So
appreciate it.
essentially what if you saw, okay, let me mute you. Wow, okay, yeah. Essentially, if you saw my title, I don't know how many people saw the title or paid attention to it. It's basically pain porn for profit or sinister systemic shaping. This had to do with rage bait content and how the algorithm is fueling it. And essentially, we're creating the content that is going viral. It is usually to incite anger, wrath, whatever. But what's happening is it's leaving some lasting impacts on the community. And I said that it is fueling, I personally believe that this has helped to fuel the gender war. It's also helped to shape how Black people see each other, how we interact with each other. And I just want to know what the people think about that. Do you agree that the rage bait content, while it might be good for content creators because it gives you something to talk about, we can have stream after stream after stream. Um, but I feel like at the same time, nobody's thinking about the after effects of when we go viral for the negative things.
Yeah, that's extremely true. And we need a clear goal. If we don't have a clear goal and people have their clear roles, then anything goes.
Shout out to Russell. Clear goals, clear road. That sounds amazing. I just think that it's a business model and it does have bad ramifications at the end of it because people think that these skits are real. A lot of time we're reacting to skits. It's like stuff people playing in the back in discords and other stuff. And when we see it lived out, we react to it as if it's a real thing.
Do you think it's possible that while we watch these skits, right, we see what happens and we don't always identify them as skits, which I think is a huge part of the problem. It's one thing if you're setting it up so people know that it's fake, it can reduce the emotional impact because a lot of people online may consider themselves to be emotionally intelligent, but a lot of people are not. And there's a lot of heated discussions that happen around some of these topics. I do feel like they fuel points on both the red pill side, both on the BWE side, all of the sides that you want to talking points. You can find a skit that's going to hit all of that and piss people off. My question is basically, do you think that people might be having these discussions, formulating opinions, and taking these opinions into their real lives? Like, are they shaping the way that we
Yes.
think? That's what I believe. Yes. Okay, you
It is.
explain
Yes.
why.
Yeah,
Yes.
1,000%.
Yes.
So I will say this, and I can't say why they're taking it to their lives, but what I can tell you is I had to come into accountability for the platform I was on Thursday nights. Most people that know me in the space know me for being on a particular platform on Thursday nights. It started showing up in my real life, right? So first it showed up.
Which show was that? What's the name of it?
I'm not saying that.
Oh, I was just curious. I
don't want nobody go looking. None of that. Right?
Why can't we go look?
Yeah, I don't want that.
You don't.
I'll put it in the back chat, but I'll say that. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. So here's the thing, right? The first way it showed up is that when I was moving about the city, people would be like, "Oh, you Chicago really?" Like I'd be at Pier 31 or out shopping or wherever. It's like, "Oh, you Chicago really from Wooty Wooty Woo," because it was a big thing. That show was a big thing here in Chicago. And then I lived in Atlanta for 20 years, so I started getting people calling me from Atlanta, asking me about how I showed up on particular shows sometimes. Then it became them asking me questions. And so I had to take accountability for the way that I showed up in these conversations in a way that did not always reflect favorably, right, on my positions, if that makes sense, right? So in other words, like it almost felt like I was contributing to the cesspool of the conversation in terms of the gender war between men and women, right? And so I don't know why. Well, actually, I do know why. In this particular space, people see you as them. You're just like them. Like I tout myself as a blue collar, middle class, tax paying citizen. So people like, oh, I identify with that. I identify L7 square, nerd, all that stuff, all of that. I identify with all of that. So people see themselves in you and then they internalize that. So in the same sense, the same people that have their gripes or whether it's male or female, they're seeing themselves in the content creators. And shoot, even if you think about KS, a lot of dudes thought they saw themselves in him, but they just, they was just happy he was slam dunking on chicks. So they resonate with that and bring all those talking points for Chicago real life.
For Chicago, those things that you just said aren't static. It's not a consistent one thing. Those lines get blurred. So
absolutely.
I'm a square or a middle class. That is a spectrum of things. So they see bits and pieces of themselves in these characters, and they don't understand that these are characters that probably took those pieces from real life. So to me, KS was an amalgamation of BGS, Igmore, and a bunch of different people. Sinful to P. He was trying to be a player and 100 things all in one in a suit and tie.
That's a great point. And a lot of times the ones that were
for real
benefiting off of those things, they was able to articulate in ways that people can regurgitate, and then they were seen just as intelligent as them. And so that's what started to be a big trend. A lot of the talking points that was on these panels wound up being outside. And people outside now saying, "Oh, would you rather a 6'5" person or a 6 foot or a 5'7" man like me?" Like it really actually matters. And when we all lay down, it doesn't actually matter.
So I'm a little bit confused right now.
Like, the disrespect is insane, bro. That's what y'all gonna do right here, for real.
Hold on 1 second, Jelly. Before you all continue, we have somebody named Chang in the background. I'm not familiar with Chang. Does anybody know anybody named Chang?
No.
Nobody named
All right,
Chang.
I'm gonna put my banner up before I bring them up. So give me just a second, y'all. One moment, please.
If you don't know them, tell them to cam up. If they don't want to cam up, then we see them later. We having a productive build without them.
Chang. Hold on, let me see.
And the banner's not up, by the way.
I have to figure out where it is.
Just tell him to cam up. If he ain't camming up, then it's probably somebody that we don't.
It should be in your brand, the brand tab.
Yeah, it should. Yeah, it's on the brand tab. Go to.
Yeah.
Well, I can't see it on mine because it's. But
hold on. I see it. Thank you.
Got it.
Chang, can you? I'm gonna add him to the stage.
Hello today, but the only reason I come up to
absolutely not. Absolutely
no, because that night was in my restaurant, right? And he ordered two orders of the set noodle, and he did not pay today. Oh my God!
I don't know.
Why do you sound like one of them scam likely?
I'm sorry, Candy. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. What in the world?
Get this nigga the fuck up.
Yeah,
but make sure you pay for your noodles next time. All right.
Yeah, but to add on to what Nida says, right? But the lines has been blurred already, right? Because we created those personalities, and these personalities are in mainstream media. They're on Fox News. They're on Newsmax. They're on on Glenn Beck's radio station. One of them sitting on TMZ right now talking about the Obamas as apes. They was here, and they was promoted in this space, and they and the social media companies put these people up on Front Street, and now everybody have to suffer the consequences. So yeah, so the lines already have been blurry, so you can't really separate it anymore.
Real quick, the difference, like C-Rod7, Cynthia G, like these people existed before KS, and they said some of the most heinous things about black men. KS had like a good 6-month run. They got his ass the fuck up out of here. Like, like
who got KS out of here?
That's not fair. That's not fair.
That's definitely not fair.
That's not. Hold on. That's not a fair argument. That's not a fair argument. I'm gonna tell you why.
Big J, come on. I was already talking. How you gonna cut me off?
I'm sorry, Lil. I'm sorry.
How you gonna cut me off?
I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you. That's why. I didn't hear you.
We didn't get Kevin Samuels out of here. Life took him out of here. That's not a fair comparison.
Right. That's correct. That was natural causes.
Right.
All right. Fight another one. He want to fight everybody.
Well, who that? I'm not trying to fight. What?
No, that's Nat Fighter. Welcome to the stage, Fighter. Yeah. I do want to thank you and welcome you in. Big J, you can go ahead and continue.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, right? Since the G been on Washington State or Oregon news for the last 10 years. See, some of these content creators been on news longer than y'all been on YouTube. See, someone's been here since 2006, like I have. Exactly. Some people been on here for a very, very long time. No, the YouTube companies. No, the social media companies pick who is being promoted and not. That's been going on for 2 decades on here. And it's the truth.
So then, to what extent do the content creators are they responsible for what they're putting out?
Wait, hold on, say it again, love. I'm sorry.
I said, so then to what extent are the content creators responsible for what they're putting out?
100%.
It's 100%, but it seems like it only applies if it's.
I didn't want to do that, Nav. I didn't want to do that. I thought that's where you was going with that when you said, "Are we doing that on this stage?" I'm saying respectfully, I'm not that familiar with the Cynthia G content. Like that's not my bag, right? And whoever else y'all was just naming, right?
C-Rod7.
I'm not familiar with them, and maybe it's my anecdotal, right? Because we're all going to give our perspective.
It was
so I was just saying. Yeah, I was just saying from my personal experience of being in the space. And here's the thing, I don't create a character, right? I'm not a personality or a character. The way that I am online, and if you go through some of those, you'll see I'm conflicted sometimes, right? These are real. I always used to say on Thursday, we real people dealing with real conversations in real time in real life. Yeah. Anybody that front like they got the answer and they give the perfect answer when you put on the spot. None of us trained to do this. Right. You having conversation with your peoples.
But Chicago, so that may be you, but the reality is that the aspect of people being parasocial to content creators exists. Right. So when we go back to is it harmful, like some of the fuck shit that content creators put out to the audience? And I know that you earlier said that you had to make a wall or a delineation between yourself and whatever the platform was that you were associated with. Mm-hmm. But the reality is that for a lot of folks, because we have to look at this as like a YouTube university or high school where everybody comes in as a freshman and they graduate until they graduate out of the content, right? People engage in a way that they do take it seriously and they do hold on to some of the things that we say. And then then take that into their real lives. And you know, like me as a mother of a son who's an adult now, I had to deal with the phase of like the Andrew Tates and the manosphere and some of their talking points and things like that while he was in school. So, I mean, if you were to transpose that into any other genre where we're having podcasts, or we're having people that have some, you know, incendiary or salacious content, like people engage with that in a real way. And we can't like say, well, oh, you know, my bad to it. Not to say that that's what you're saying, but just in general.
On that,
no, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
He was on. He had one of those Andrew Tate types on there with him, but that's who he bumped head with most of the time.
And that's why we can't keep looking at these parents as it's just some silly buffoonery. It is just silly entertainment. It spills out into real life. Even jokes. A lot of people live by some of the philosophies that comedians said on stages. Everything is not just for play. We got to take, when people are consuming things, it ain't just food that you consume. You consume the things that you watch, you consume the things that you read, you consume the things that you listen. And more people are listening to music and podcasts than their parents. So we got to start looking at it and paying attention to it and stop acting as if because it's on a podcast that nobody know that it doesn't mean anything. It means a lot to the person that is watching it.
Fair enough. This is the difference, right? This space, as far as quote unquote the manosphere, was supposed to be a space that was for men. It started online as blogs, right? And it just morphed into this where we can have conversations like, oh, dang, you know what? I was dating this chick. You know what I'm saying? I've been cheated on. You know what I'm saying? I've cheated. You know what I'm saying? Like I've dated, I've been in love. I had my heart broken, et cetera, et cetera. But these aren't things that you can just talk about outside of the barbershop or whatever. And then it was like the space you could be like, when you get older and it's like, yo, you know, not just could get up here and be like, yo, I'm a widower. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm, you know what I mean? Like that's not an average space for a man, because the world does not give a fuck about what men go through when it comes to heartbreak and loss and stuff. They don't necessarily see you as that. You are a tool, you are a resource, you are supposed to be strong 24/7, 365. You are not allowed days off to mourn. You know what I'm saying? So this space was created to where men can be like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Yo, I lost my wife to cancer. You know what I'm saying? Or my wife cheated on me, etc. It's not all cheating and all this other stuff that cats like to think about. Oh, I'm too short. My dick wasn't big enough. Forgive my language, etc. It's not all of that, but it originally was created for men to have a safe space to have conversations. And what happened was more stuff started to get exposed. Like, wait a minute, we starting to see a pattern here. And then when that started to come out, it was like, wait a minute. And then now more people started to get introduced into the conversation that was supposed to be a space for men to just have a conversation, hey, bro, yo, you fucked up. You was out there cheating on your wife. You need to go home and make that shit right. Because we was having these conversations too. All right, you know what? You right, OG. You right, I need to.
But do you feel like people don't want to have relationship conversations all the time, though?
No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that doesn't change the fact that we might not want to have the conversation. Doesn't change the fact that life just changes. That doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? I think space is what I'm saying. So I think it got changed to something else, and then now it came entertainment, and then it went from that to like now it's not productive anymore. So there are no more spaces to have productive conversations for when people do actually have real life problems. Where can you go to have these conversations?
So I think the places are there. I think men want to believe that nobody cares about them, and where clearly, like how you said, this space proves, or the manosphere space. I don't know if this is a manosphere space or not, but the internet proved that people care about men and what they say and what they do and how they act and how they react to life. And them being fathers, them being husbands, people actually care. However, for a long time, men been believe remedial rhetoric that nobody cares about them and they just a tool to just go out and work till they die and do nothing else. No, men are very important to a family. And we got to start embracing that it is okay for men to have emotions. You shouldn't live through your emotions, but it's okay to have them, express them, and tell your loved ones how you feeling at the time. You just cannot sit there. You get punched in the face. Okay, I come to your house. I see you on the floor. I'm going to help you up. Tomorrow, I better not see you on the floor talking about you got punched in the face from yesterday. So it got to be a time where, okay, we can address it. Then it also got to be time where we got to say, hey, you cannot keep living in that trauma anymore.
So I'm going to jump out here. I just watched the joint on Netflix, right? Forever. Some of y'all might have seen that, right? Y'all be big on these shows, so I be watching some of these shows.
Is that the one with the guy was messing with the girl and he came from a rich family or something? He's supposed to have been like
no,
was he a basketball player or something?
What? No, Forever.
What's the name? Can you repeat it? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
It's called.
What was the name?
It's called Forever. It had Megan Good and what's the boy from How Stella Got a Groove?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
No, it's good though, because I be like listening to some of these joints low key, but it's good though. The same way they said his and hers were good, I was like, I'm
leave
not
that one up, Candy. I'm sorry, leave that one up. Yes, leave that one up, please.
I watched it and I was like, dang, his and hers were good. My point is, like, we're getting closer, I think, to where it's like, yo, we're not so far off, but it's like y'all cutting off spaces for dudes to be able to relate to y'all, to be like, so Forever, you know, with Tay Diggs, Megan Good, you know what I'm saying? They got married, whatever, she died, and he was part of the kid's life, but she had kids, whatever. Like, that's more realistic or whatever. But like, that's show type stuff, but these are realistic things. Like, I had a step pops. Some people had step pops. Some people are step pops in this space. But if we can't have these conversations because we all on something, you gotta have this, you gotta have that, and we following social media type stuff, you can't have real conversations.
Now, do you see that comment from Tay Tay? Just really quick, Sharon. Just really quick. Let me say this. This is the part where I get eviscerated, right? But this is what I'm saying. I understand, brother. And this is what I'm saying. This is the part where I get eviscerated because I'm on record saying multiple times. There's a podcast currently now, and they probably got about like 5 views. The podcast is called All Black Men Need Therapy.
Wow.
I thought that was dope. Right?
It's not dope.
No, it's very dope. And you don't have to agree with it. You don't have to agree to it.
I can explain to you why.
No, it's cool. I'm just saying.
While you were talking, Nav, come on, brother.
No, I'm gonna go on mute. I'm just saying the concept that men don't have spaces to go to, right? So if you don't have your barbershop, you don't have the locker room, you don't have an uncle or granddad, you don't have brothers in your inner circle, right? There's therapy. Now, there's a men's group that I go to every Thursday, right? My job offers me 20 free sessions a year, right? And I go to therapy just for a wellness check, just to, you know, how you take your car and you make sure everything is functioning straight. The last session I had was probably one of the dopest sessions. I don't always feel like anything is wrong. I just go just because it's so much. I don't think we realize how much is being thrown at us, right? And so, men get drained, overwhelmed. If you don't have hobbies, if you don't have safe spaces to release, then you're going to feel overwhelmed. I personally think with all that has transpired in America, and maybe all is the trigger word, right? But I do believe most, and that is majority, most Black men need therapy. And I'm on mute.
And I just want to say something real quick. Is that like, we got to understand the panel is therapeutic, but outside you need to get therapy.
Yeah. A lot of these panels though are not.
But why should a panel be fucking therapeutic though?
No, that's fine.
Right. I said it is therapeutic.
It's cathartic for some people.
Well, I mean, that's my question though. Like, why should it be? Like, why? And I don't know. Like, so I don't come here to be soothed by people who are always like-minded by me, right?
Yeah.
I come here sometimes to engage in disagreements, into hearing new concepts of thought that I may have never thought of. I don't always come here for somebody to fucking handhold me. And my
Right.
question is why is that a requirement now?
It shouldn't be, and it's not that.
Yeah,
A lot of
that's
these
not real
panels
therapy
are
either.
pretty much high school. It's somebody swinging and being a big dog and needing to let you understand that you're not that. So a lot of these panels are not therapeutic. They're not a place for you to go as a safe place, no matter how deep the thing you might be going through is. A lot of people will laugh at you. They'll spend money to drop you, to try to humiliate you.
So
no,
I
it's
think
not that.
the therapeutic part is different from therapy because people use this as a verbal gym. So like how people go to boxing gyms to get out their stress and their frustration, a lot of people use these panels as a verbal gymnasium to get out their stress and everything. So that's why I said these places can be therapeutic, but people need to go and actually get real therapy so they can actually work on the things that is affecting them from the past. They got to heal from that. And that's what therapy means.
I disagree with that. Let me tell you why.
I do
Right?
too,
When
Big
it comes
J.
to for a different reason than you, right?
You don't know my reason.
Femicide, but I'm gonna tell you,
Oh, yeah,
femicide
we in there.
has been in increase since the preparation of the Red Pill podcast. You know, you go to any industrialized country, femicide has increased ever since the popularity of the Red Pill community. And,
Big J, how do you connect
people
these two
seeing it.
things? How do you make a connection between these two things, Big J?
Crime stats, the numbers of assaults, acid being splashed in women's faces.
Okay, now it sounds like you're talking about the Muslims, bro. See, don't blame us all for what the third worlders do.
And I just want to say this, Candy Can, before they go into it. Like,
why do you?
Big J, wait a second. You heard him. Go ahead, Sharon.
I just want to say, like, and this panel shows how difficult it is to maintain a conversation without bringing in relationships. Relationship is very important to us as human beings, and it turned into a relationship. We are talking about it's closely moving towards a relationship talk as we go further into the concept, because it's not easy to maintain a conversation about building things, because majority of people have not built education and have the entertainment value with real human beings. So for a lot of people, it's just a philosophy. They don't actually believe that we could stay constructive and fun at the same time. And so that's why it slowly drifts into a relationship conversation.
But
and this is a
crazy
perfect
part is
example of it.
We have 4 hours of conversation, and when it did veer off, we were able to bring it back to the topic. Now the topic can change. I never have a problem with that. But what I don't want, like I always preface to say, I'm not a gender war channel. I don't want to go into gender banging. Y'all get enough of that on everybody else's stream everywhere you go. I want to keep my place, my space clean. And I know somebody asked earlier, am I Manosphere? No, babe, I am Candy Spear. I am my own person. I am a freelance free agent. I go where I want to. I observe what I want to, and then I throw away the bones and chew the meat of what I want to. So I just want to start with that. Y'all can go ahead and continue on. We can keep the conversation going, but there's no need for us to dive into mudslinging.
Right though, before
I was asking Big J to explain his point.
Right, well, because you and Sharon interrupt me though. But the thing is, right, there has been. I said the industrialized countries, which means the West. Australia, Japan, South Korea, the United States, Canada, and Western Europe. There's been a perpetuation, the increase of femicide. It correlates with the increase of red pill, of the red pill ideology. And people are red pill for the wrong reasons anyway. It wasn't, the problem we have, right? And the problem is it gives excuses to the surplus male. It gives, I believe that I believe because of the red pill, it gives the surplus male and out to, because there's no therapy, is giving them cause to go to lift up demagogues like Donald Trump or commit certain acts of violence. That's what I believe, and their numbers putting it out, because Professor Scott Galloway put it out, exposed the manosphere, put it out on his channel. We see the increase of violence and towards women and towards other men. So yeah, I mean, that's why I said, though, it's dangerous on how the social media companies are promoting these personalities. Pearl got no business being promoted. Y'all help Pearl where she's at.
But it's not just Pearl, Big J, because and so I'll throw another story. I'll throw another story that has nothing to do with like the relationship dynamic, right? Like back in the day, for those of us that were in the conscious community, there was a woman named Corinne Gaines, right? She was fully indoctrinated.
I remember that. I remember her.
Conscious community rhetoric, the whole nine, to the point is where she died, had a police standoff and was killed because of it. And for those of us who were around back then, right, getting back to this parasocial and being thoughtful of what we say on these panels and things like that, there was no accountability or even acknowledgement, because those are two different things, by definition. There was no acknowledgement of the harm that sometimes, even though it may have been good intention, the conversation about, oh, well, maybe we have fucked up by leading people to this point where they're ready to go toe for toe with the police, right?
Hey, that was the sister from Baltimore, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. I want to make a quick point real quick. Hold on, Big J. The thing is, though, like, I think we're overshooting a lot when we try to blame the so-called red pill for all these things. And you kind of tipped your hand when you started talking about femicide and things like acid attacks, bro. Those are notoriously third world behaviors. And you're trying to blame first world men for third world shit just because third worlders are way too many deep. They're way too deep over here. That's the problem. But that's a whole other thing. You're blaming us for shit we don't really do.
I have a question. To all the
you're
men on the
being
panel.
highly. Hold on.
I'll let you respond, Big J, and after that, I want to go because I have a question for the men on the panel. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Candy.
Okay, so Nath said that he doesn't agree with the therapy thing. My question is to the men who we have here now. If you do not agree with therapy, and I'm not saying that you have to, what do you do to alleviate your stress? What do you do to calm your mind? What do you do to restructure and recenter yourself? If therapy is not the answer for you, what is?
I believe in therapy.
Ooh.
I don't think talk therapy works for most men. Men need active training or something. Talk therapy is for women.
Wow. That was crazy.
I agree 100%. I don't give a fuck what any of you niggas say.
Wow, that was even crazier. I think one of the things that men could do, to be honest with you,
you don't get to speak for men. You agree with therapy. Shut the fuck up.
Wait. Come on now.
That's fine.
Come on now.
That's fine. I guess you get to speak for men more than me. But the thing is this. I think men, speaking as one, as a leader of my family, personally, that men that are going through some things, they need to write down something, write in the journal and reevaluate, reflect on what they did for the day. I think men need to also have a schedule for themselves and understand what they are supposed to be accomplishing for the day. So this way they can always refer back to it when they start to stray away. I think our brothers need to do some physicalness, maybe walk 15 minutes this way and 15 minutes that way. Do at least 2 push-ups a goddamn day, because that will keep your estrogen away. We got to find other ways to express ourselves, and it is okay for you as a man to express yourself and to emote in other ways other than anger.
Yeah, maybe take off your shoes, go on.
Skills on how to keep the estrogen up.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Nightish.
No, I want all the real men to speak up for some reason because they keep yelling. Go ahead. Whoever that was, go ahead.
I do that. So listen, you show me the man that will follow Sharon into a firefight or some shit like that. That's the nigga that you follow. He talking about all this other stuff. Like, yo, listen, I'm all for. Yes, we do need, mental health and people that can talk us through it. What I'm saying is there's not a fair representative or representation of men who qualify to have these conversations. The field is dominated by women. So when they try to talk to a man that's been through some trauma or whatever, they try to come to you from you need to tap into your emotions, and they come to you from a female perspective. And what we see is women want you to be able to connect to them, emotionally, but then they can't understand that there's a side of you that has nothing to do with that. They can't tap into that. That's why you need a father. That's why you need a masculine figure. That's why when you play sports or you go into the military, you get something different that cannot be duplicated or replaced by your mother or your oldest sister or your auntie or whatever. The same way, we're not going to try to do that for women, but women believe that they can replace that with their sons. I can make you to be this man that I know he's not shit, but he's so hard and something about him is so aggressive and gangster. I'm going to have his baby. You know what I mean? Like,
with that being said, can somebody
What are we talking about?
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But here is the thing though. But
hold on. Y'all are cutting Nightish off.
Yeah. I just want to ask the brother. I think his name is Naf that was just talking. So with that being said, since you own the key to masculinity, could people come to you?
What are you talking about? Come to me.
You said that you think that is this certain kind of way. So it sounds like you had a key to
what I'm talking about, I'm speaking in general.
Listen, brother, receive what I'm saying. So since it seems like you have some clue or answer to what masculinity is, could they come to you?
I've led though. I have a son. What does this have to do with? Like, y'all always do this. Y'all want to make it personal. Why?
It's not about being personal. It sounds like you have some idea about what masculinity really is. So what I said was very simple. If you have the keys, can they come to you?
But I'm not out here portraying that I have the keys.
That's what you just did moments ago.
No, that's what you're trying to play.
No, but that's what you said.
How?
You don't listen to
yourself?
I
heard him say niggas need daddies. He literally said people need daddies. That's what I heard. Therapy sounds like conversations with fatherless children. That's what therapy sounds like.
So okay, let me ask you a question.
I need to know how many brothers on this stage been to therapy before.
No, I'm asking. So because
Nav, Hood, like the brothers that don't agree with therapy.
I have.
I actually have. That shit is lame. I have. It's not the magic you're telling me that it is.
Hold on. No. I'm not saying that, brother. I also don't disparage brothers who don't feel the need to go to a therapist, right? Like, that's not for you. I understand, right? But there are a lot of brothers out here that do. And if you were with a therapist, it's the same as when you have a PCP, primary care physician, right? You don't go with the first primary care physician. You go with the one that suits you, right? So if you didn't audition your therapist and your therapist didn't give you work to do, then you might not have been with the right person.
Chicago. So if I how many cats have shot, killed, or robbed a nigga? That changes the conversation too, right?
Not really.
I have.
Yeah,
absolutely
not really. No.
Absolutely not.
Because it's cats that done it though, right? But does that make you less qualified to engage in a conversation? We talk.
Oh, no. I'm cool with having the conversation. It just seems to be.
I'm not putting this on you.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
That was a general conversation. That wasn't directed to anybody. I'm just asking in general, like, because we all know cats that did time, that done some shit that they regret.
You saying everything, brother.
Okay, but here is my problem.
What does this have to do with the topic, though? What is it?
Hold on.
Yeah.
We move because it changes, Jelly. Like, we done moved the topic. Now they're talking about therapy.
Kenny, because this is men on men type shit, and I apologize. Like this ain't got nothing to do with you, love. It's just men shit. I'm sorry.
It's okay if it's men. I don't mind having some conversation surrounding like issues that deal with men. Okay, I do have a question for you though. You did say that majority of the therapists are women. Do you know that you can specifically seek out male therapists if you wanted to?
Yes.
So then
that nigga was trained by a woman though. That's the whole thing is female centered.
What? How is therapy female centered?
Listen, only just now in the last 5 or 10 years that people coming out of university system even pick up masculine studies. For the last 40 years, you were figuring out how to talk to women.
No, but what?
Right.
So in this day and age, how is therapy female centered? Why men cannot go?
It only just now. You already asked it twice.
Let me finish the question.
It doesn't
matter.
matter.
Why men cannot go and find another male?
That's not
therapist?
how this shit works, bro.
I was asking Hood because he's been there, so
I know, but they're teaching this in the schools, bro. Are y'all familiar with Jeff St. James?
Before we go to what they're teaching in schools, Hood, would you be able to kind of explain why a male therapist is female centric?
One, because therapy as an institution was mostly dominated by women. It winds up being women talking to women about how to get men to behave. That's like what couples therapy winds up boiling down to. So what happens is most of the training process.
Can I stop you right there, Hood? Because
no, you cannot stop me. Because don't fucking stop me. Don't fucking stop me when you tell me you want to clarify your point. Let me fucking talk now. Let me finish my answer before you cut me off. Don't do anything. Well, don't do anything. Let me talk then. No, I will not. When you told me to pause, don't do that. You told me to pause to wait for the question. Will you just let me talk? No, let me just finish my point. I didn't say 3 words and you get it.
Let him get it out, and then you can ask your question after him, Sean. Go ahead, conservative. Finish what you're saying.
Thank you, ma'am. The whole industry started out female dominated. And so just because a couple of niggas come along in the last 5 years doesn't change the entire history of the industry.
Let him get his point off. Y'all can rebuttal him, but it's not like, listen, it's really bad for the audio if we overtalk each other.
How much of this pop psychology? How much of this pop psychology has been devoted to understanding men?
For 150
Kenny, can you check your Cash App?
Yeah.
Yes, I can check my cash.
What I wanted to ask is that we're not talking about couples therapy. We're just talking about men going to other men for therapy in today's time. And so why is it that you believe that in today's time, when the past
before I answer, I did ask you a question.
Okay,
I'm
you
sorry,
think the therapy is
I didn't hear. I heard Sharon speaking, and then somebody cut in and asked the question. I couldn't hear what the question is.
No, my
you all
apologies.
go,
I asked Sharon a question, and he refused to answer. He's asking me another question instead of answering the question.
Okay, before you go, let me play the money song because I did get a Cash App. I want to honor the money. I'm going to play it, and then we can come back and get into the questions between Sharon and Hood Conservative. One moment, please. Okay. Thank you for that. I appreciate all of the Cash Apps and all of the likes, the shares, everything. And I'm gonna go ahead. We have Bronsberg in the back. One second. I'm gonna add him to the stage, and I have Silent as well.
What's going on, Bronsberg?
What's good?
Yep.
What's good? Y'all go ahead and talk. I'll jump in when it's time.
How much of this therapy literature has been devoted to understanding men?
So historically, what I understand is that it was dominated by males. It was Western.
Yeah, initially in the beginning, yeah.
So like
you had Sigmund Freud, wasn't he one of the most famous?
Yes.
Okay. Nietzsche, was he also? Am I thinking correctly here?
You are.
Okay. Yeah, so it was men in the beginning.
Those men
Sigmund Freud was sleeping with his patients and robbing them at the same time.
Right. So those men were insane. So those are the men who believe in that hysteria witch thing. If a woman was going through her cycle, they would boil them as if they were witches. So those men were insane also. That was therapists.
You're making my point. Why do you trust this when it came from creepy people who boil chicks alive or whatever you just said?
So my initial question to you all was, if therapy is not the answer, and I'm not pushing it on you, I'm simply saying, if you do not believe in it, then what do you do? I need answers as to what do you do. I heard Naf say it starts in the home, having a father in the home to raise his sons and to help them to grow into better men. Okay, so now let's move the goalposts.
That's one thing.
But that's not necessarily true.
I believe that what more important than anything else is, don't deal with it alone. If you feel like you slipping, if you feel like there's something going on, don't keep it to yourself. Tell somebody. If you don't trust therapy, if you can't go to God, don't be alone with it. Tell somebody.
That's still therapy, though.
Yeah.
So I heard somebody say it starts.
I agree with it.
I do too. So when we talk about therapy, right? People, I don't know who said that's not the answer to therapy.
That was
regardless, you're gonna need some type of way to talk and communicate with someone when you have issues, right? Yeah. So the thing about it is like I heard someone say like most of these therapists are women. I have a therapist that's a black man. You feel me? So if therapy is not the answer, I don't see what is, because usually what happens in the black community with black men, I'm gonna be real and put it out there, we use drugs or other ways as a coping mechanism instead of getting to the root cause of what our problem is.
Yes.
And even when I reached out to people, I said, yo, why don't you go to therapy? They'd be like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm good, fam. And they'd be like, why? Because if you complain that much, then who are you going to go to? And especially if you say the father in the home, how many times has that been to the point where even a son is not supported by his own father?
A lot of times.
A lot.
So that from the home is not always the answer.
I need to make another observation. And I know not everybody follows the same religious doctrine, but it occurs to me that therapy, that nigga's your secular priest. That's all this is. This is a secular priest. And you really need a religious scheme. Your therapist is not going to help you get your proper framework right. I don't think the therapy thing works all like people say it is. You need something a lot deeper than therapy most of the time. And really, when I said therapy, I'm specifically saying talk therapy doesn't really do it for men.
Yeah.
So did you answer the question? Hold on. No, hold on 1 second for me, Nidish. I'm sorry.
Well, get a priest. Go to church. Get better with your spiritual understanding. But I don't know that talk therapy is the solution.
Well, I don't think a priest is going to do that for everybody. A priest, a pastor.
So
whatever.
What do you think is the solution then?
Candy, I would like to say that the solution is multi-pronged. I think talk therapy is just one version of it. Also, you got to have some resolution. You got to have some self-resilience. You got to have some physical therapy as well to go along with it. You need to have some mental therapy as getting out of your personal algorithm. A lot of people, they just get caught up in what is normal in a neighborhood. This is why they go to
you got to reboot
cannabis, alcohol, and sex, right? That's why they go to those main things, because that's just at their doorstep. So it's multiple prong.
What is it we're trying to fix though? Do all men need therapy? Because you're right, it is a multiple thing. But the question is, what is the question that therapy is the answer to? What is the question? What are you trying to fix?
Hood, not all men need therapy, but the people who think they need therapy need to vocalize it. Some men can deal with all these different things. Like if we talk about 2026, what are we talking about? Aliens, we talking about the dollar plummeting, we talking about World War III. It's a lot of stuff that people got to unpack that they not unpacking. They just sitting in their house alone, drinking and smoking and screwing.
And joining these panels talking bullshit.
And that too.
And I'm gonna be frankly honest. Some of these men, I ain't gonna say names, so I don't want to start shit. Some of these dudes that's leading panels depend on women to have a conversation about men. I would put a stake in that claim. I'll put a stake in that claim because sometimes I feel like some of these topics is none of these women's business. But for some odd reason, some of these men depend on these women to have conversations directly about black men and black men alone. It's crazy to me.
But women are fun to talk to.
But you don't need to have a conversation about black men if it's about black men. Why are you involving black women? Okay, but that's your problem. I'm gonna ask y'all this question: how many of y'all?
Wait, brother.
How many of y'all? Hold on. Let me ask a question. How many of y'all?
Can we have a
hold on. Let me ask a question real quick, bro. How many of y'all have led panels where it's been directly men only without the interference of women in the conversation? How many of y'all have done it?
Me for years.
I have.
Most of my panels are male. I don't really have a chick running crazy in my house.
Ain't no women on y'all panel.
I don't think that's a fair. Wait a minute. Because you make it sound as though I jumped in the middle of a men's conversation.
No, not at all. I was just asking a question.
I just want to make sure.
No, not at all.
I just want to clarify because I just want to make sure this is the topic that the panel decided to go to. I'm just here to facilitate it at this point.
Yeah,
I've already done the main content, and if these men want to talk about therapy, I don't have an issue with them doing that.
And we're on her panel, so we jumped into a woman conversation versus what could have been suggested.
Well, technically, it wasn't a woman conversation.
No, it wasn't.
I'm just asking questions. It's because y'all made it about men, right? So I'm just asking questions.
No, we didn't make it about men. If you actually was listening to the stream, you'll realize we was actually having a conversation about rage baiting content.
Yeah.
So it wasn't gender specific.
At all.
Yeah. I was just being a bit facetious with the brother because it always puzzles me when they go, "Why are women talking? Why is women up here? What is that about?"
No, I'm saying that in regards, like, I'm just curious. It's not. I understand where I'm at. Obviously, this is a woman's panel, but it's just when y'all have conversations about men in therapy, and then when it interfered with like panels and shit, I was just curious. You feel me? Maybe I've worded it wrong, or maybe not. But I was just curious in that. I wanted to know y'all brothers' opinions.
Well, I think you should utilize everything that's available. You should not walk away from anything. So if you can go to a church and you can get the answers, if you can go to a therapist and you can get the answer, you can go to your brother and get the answers. You need to go somewhere. You shouldn't be alone with it.
That's still therapy.
And also, I believe that men need to start recognizing the solution to their problem. We had a few solutions that people said, and they just went straight to a new problem instead of diving into the solution that was represented on this panel today. At least 5 different solutions came about from men that are dealing with whatever it is that they're dealing with.
But Sharon, you know what people will do for every solution you have? They got a brand new problem for you.
And that's what we need men to start recognizing that they are doing those things. And I believe that it is okay for us to recognize that, yes, men need therapy, and it is okay. A lot of men go through life believing that nobody cares about them, and it's just not a true statement. And we got to get past that. So men are more expressing themselves.
Sharon, you say that as if we are to believe your therapist love you. Your therapist don't love you no more than the hooker love you. Once the money gone, they gone, bro. What are you doing?
You're making it emotional when it doesn't need to be emotional at all.
No. It's
not. It was not about love. It was about
since y'all allow. Go ahead.
I would love to answer it. Thank you. So it's about the therapist giving you tools so you could keep moving forward. You shouldn't have to stay with the therapist after the situation is fixed, right? So after that, whatever that thing is that you need to go to help correct or find a way to cope with that situation, you need to use those tools day to day. Me personally, I've never been to a therapist, so I'm one of those men that you're talking about that you're saying that doesn't need therapy and is able to work out all of his demons through self-reflection.
So you're offering solutions that you don't even understand internally. Then this is amazing.
No, so hold on, but that's not true because I gave you a solution that didn't need a therapist. I said you need to learn how to journal. You need to do self-reflection.
Walk 15 minutes this way and that way.
Well, you said multiple times men need therapy, but you've never been. How do you know niggas need a thing that you've never had?
Because when I'm communicating with them and I give them a solution and they keep on trying to find ways to poke holes in it, I realize that whatever I'm giving them, they don't want to accept it. So they need to go to somewhere. They need to go somewhere else. And clearly, it is not these panels because the panel's been going on for 20 years, and that didn't help the young gentleman as well. So therefore, you have the failed manosphere. You don't want to listen to somebody that is showing and proving what they did to get up out of their negative form of thinking. So therefore, the only solution I see left is therapy. So that's
wait.
By and large,
go ahead, Shahud.
Wait, before you go, I do want to hold on 1 second, please, for me. There's somebody in the back trying to come up. Unfortunately, the panel's full. I can't let you up. If you can tell me who you are in the chat, maybe we can rotate someone in and we'll rotate someone out. But somebody's trying to hit the panel and I can't let you up. I have a limit of 10 people.
Or you can spend some money and drop somebody to come up.
Do you know the name? Do we know the person?
I can't even tell who it is because I can't see them. It's not showing me. Is it Gabe?
Gabe is the one that's out there said it's full in the chat. Gabe,
I can drop down.
That's Gabe.
Okay, Silent. If you don't mind dropping, you can come back. I just want to give him the chance to come in and say what he wants.
We never got an opportunity to hear nothing from the brother first. Can you say something before you go? Oh, just
never mind.
Sorry, Silent. You can always
Silent. His name is Silent.
Ironically.
Gabe, it's open. Now, here's the thing. Silent comes up, and he'll come up and support. Silent doesn't do a lot of talking, which is why I didn't really press for him to if he wants to put his input, he can, but Silent just mainly comes to hang out.
Well, shout out to you, brother, for coming up in the first place. I'm enjoying myself. Candy, you got something cool going on over here.
I've been trying, Nightish. I do. I'm small but mighty.
Hey, Candy, you're not trying, you doing, baby girl, and I'm going to support you any chance I get, if I can.
I appreciate that.
What up, Gabe?
Well, Candy, the point I wanted to make a second ago, though, I don't think most men, the kind of men who have problems that you think therapy can fix, most men don't have problems that words can solve. And this is my big issue with therapy. It's talk therapy in particular. Most men who have serious problems, it's not a conversational thing. And so it's like we're setting men up to just talk indefinitely, where most of the time it's like a thing that needs to change. Either you have the power to change it or you have the ability to get around it, but something needs to change. And it's not a thing that you can just talk your way out of.
Yes, you can.
I understand.
I definitely disagree with what he just said. Because my thing about it is talk therapy is supposed to be a solution to help you arise from the problem that you're going through. Too many times men will sit up there and use other means not to talk about what's on their mind. And that's the problem. So you'll sit up there and say, oh, therapy is emotional. No, therapy is a guide. Just like how you have your father or you have friends who's helping you when times get hard. So talking therapy could be a solution for various of men to get through the problems that they're going through if they don't know how to do it themselves. It's not a problem.
This is the second time. This is the second time that came up. So it's
1 second. Let me ask the brother just was talking. Have you done it?
I just said that I'm with a therapist.
Okay, I just was asking. I'm not trying to.
So I'm not bad. I meant to say it like that. I just talk aggressively sometimes. But yeah.
Well, look, this is the second time this came up. So it seems like the therapist is to replace the family structure that you would have normally had. Your friends, your family, your church.
Not true.
This is a secular religious scheme.
Not true. Not true. You can still be related. You still can have a great relationship with your family and still go to church and still see a therapist. That's not a correlation, dude.
But some people don't have the family or the church. They just out here.
But that either way. All I'm saying is either way you can have it.
I'm not combating what you're saying.
Okay. I'm just saying in regards to that, it's not replacing anything. If anything, it could add something, right? You can be healthy as I don't know what, but maybe you just need a therapist to talk about things that you're going through. And I don't see anything wrong with that.
Great point, because sometimes I think people don't understand, like when you are also that father figure in your family and everybody always comes to you, who do you go to, right? And sometimes that person, that strong male figure in your family, he might need somebody to speak to as well. And that could be a therapist. He could have that church, he could have all the things, all the accolades, but he eventually might need somebody to unload a lot of the mental strain that it goes with maintaining a family structure.
And it's not gender.
So this is the third time we brought this up. So this is for people with a broken social network. Okay.
True. It doesn't mean it's a broken social network.
One second. Hood conservative. You do realize a lot of people have broken social networks. It doesn't matter. They have a big family. They ignore them. They don't have friends. You know, a lot of people are like that.
How do people deal with their life situations or their life issues before therapy became a popular thing?
I'm talking to Hood though, because Hood makes it seem like all families.
No, it's like but I'm saying it's a lot of people on the panel. So you know, I'm trying to get in there. So I'm saying, like, how did people deal with those issues before?
I didn't stop you.
My question is gay. My response.
Okay, Hood says the same question. How did people deal with those issues before therapy became a thing?
They didn't deal with them. They drank themselves to death, or they used drugs, or they banged as many chicks as they could bang.
Yeah,
people still do that. What are you talking about?
Get a side bitch, bro. Be a real man and get a side bitch, bro. I don't know what you niggas talk about.
Why you act like that's like extinct now? People still do that on YouTube.
So let me ask this question to Hood conservative.
Cool.
My fault.
But he said as if all them things that was before all of a sudden stopped. No, they still do the same shit.
So can I ask this question to Hood
Literally
conservative?
what I said, yeah.
So Hood conservative. So are you saying as a man, are you saying as a man going to a therapist makes me weak? As a man?
Good question.
Does that make me weak?
As a man, I think this modern. As a man, I think this modern culture encourages weakness.
Yes or no?
Going to a therapist makes me weak as a man.
I don't know you as a man to insult you that way, but I think therapy encourages weakness in men. Do with that what you want, bro.
But it makes him less than a man then.
It makes me less of a man if I decide to go to a therapist?
That's wild.
So you're discouraging.
Overall, the process encourages weakness. Yes, it does.
How?
You either do or don't. What the hell did this? Just like Gabe said, what did men do before you had a shoulder to cry on? You fucking did this. You solved your problem. You got up there and you fixed it, my nigga.
No, you still can't be a therapist. So what are you talking about?
Hold on, fellas. Let's bring it back down. We don't need to.
Okay, look, that's what I'm saying. You use substance as a way to conquer your problems. That makes you more weak than sitting up there seeing someone to talk to, though. No. I'm saying no, Sharon. I'm not yelling.
I do think right now it's very easy.
Hold on,
we have to have one mic. Y'all.
I do think right now people.
Hold on 1 second. Y'all.
No. I'm still talking. Everybody talking. So what I'm saying is that I do think that. No. I'm saying that. You go right after me. Hold on 1 second. What I'm saying is that I think a lot of.
Ma'am, you don't host. Don't let Sharon host.
I just got here.
Listen.
Hold on. Hey, fellas, y'all gotta stop screaming. Y'all, your microphone.
No, I'm saying, Sharon, like you can go right after me because you've been on the panel. Like I just got here, so it's no reason for you to hog the mic.
Okay, I just needed to slow it down for a minute because I'm not trying to stop anybody from talking, but we cannot talk over each other. It distorts the audio. Nobody in the audience can hear us, and it just sounds like a bunch of noise. I believe that each one of you are intelligent beings, and y'all can go one by one and make your points.
Yeah, so what I was going to say is that I think that in the past that there were particularly trusted parties in different outlets that men went towards rather than the therapy thing. Because I think it's easy just to say therapy is the solution. It's very easy because anybody could talk to anybody about something, but that doesn't really solve any problems. You need something long term. People don't need long term therapists for the entirety of their lives. They need outlets. They need ways to relieve stress. They need ways to get out of whatever situation that they're in. And I don't think that therapy is always the answer, or I think it's just easy right now.
In this conversation, we're not talking about.
Sharon, give me 1 second. I want to ask him a question. How long have you been listening to the panel?
Good question, I guess.
I've been on and off, in and out.
So, because we said that use whatever, you shouldn't keep it inside. Whether it's therapy, whether it's taking off your shoes and putting your feet in the grass, becoming one with the earth, whether you got a big brother, a cousin, or uncle, what you shouldn't do is keep it to yourself. That was said. So it wasn't just therapy.
Well, okay, I wasn't here. So if it's the same thing that was said previous, congratulations. We're saying the same thing.
Well,
I don't know.
If you talk about therapy,
what the purpose of that was.
The definition of therapy is treatment.
You came up here to be loud and first to say something that's already been said.
No, I'm jumping into the conversation. No, I'm jumping into the conversation in the area that I heard it. And just because I said something from before, I'm saying you
new to the conversation. So thank you.
Just because I'm new to the.
That's already been said. Sharon, please go.
Yes.
No, somebody else was talking.
It was Bronsberg, but
it's just a good.
Well, hold on. Sharon was waiting.
Who is that?
Hold on. This is Candace speaking. Sharon was waiting.
No, I was talking about Knight.
And then after Sharon, Bronsberg, then Tip. Okay.
Yeah.
So
y'all got it.
No, I was.
No, you aren't.
Oh,
go ahead, Sharon.
Thank you.
If you are, say God before you say night. The God night.
And so, what I want to say is that the fellas, maybe y'all need to lower your microphones down. Y'all don't realize how y'all coming up to the audience that is attempting to listen to the show. We want to hear.
You are not. This is not your channel, man. Just progress the conversation.
Calm down, please.
We trying to be a mediator, and men just trying to have we trying to progress it, ain't we?
But it's his turn
to mediate the panel.
Crazy work, yo.
Again,
it's crazy.
It's okay. He's trying to help the audio. I don't mind him speaking if he's trying to help the audio. It's okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sharon.
I appreciate it.
Damn savage. Have some self-control.
And
two mediators. Go ahead, Sharon.
He want to beat me so badly. Come on, brother.
Nightish, come on. I don't. If y'all have a personal beef, y'all want to go fight out.
I don't know.
Okay.
He just.
Right.
I don't know anybody.
And
all right, go ahead, Sharon.
It's very interesting how this is going. I do find it strange that when we are trying to get to some solutions for brothers, this is where we have the most fighting at. We need to understand how to listen to each other and understand that it is multiple ways for us to get to the things. Me personally, I haven't said anything at all that deals with a therapist at all. At all. I gave plenty of things that I've physically done in my real life to help me get through the things that I needed to get through. And so that's the only reason why I suggest those things, because it helped me. And, some people it can work for. Running is a good thing. Get some miles in, get your heart up. And I'll end it with this. So if you have that father figure that you talk to and he gives you solutions and resolve, does that make you less of a man because you didn't go to a certified therapist, but you went to your father?
No, none of them make you less than a man. But I think a lot of times, Sharon, is just that you're talking and they don't want it to be you.
So I have.
That was helpful, Nightish.
I have the definition of therapy right here. It says treatment. Hold on. It says treatment intended to relieve or heal a disorder. So if we're talking about therapy, I feel like it seems like to me, maybe just hood-servative, because I'm getting that vibe from you. You're automatically demonizing one part of therapy just because it's someone deciding to go to someone who has done the practice for a long time to be able to hear whatever it is you have to say about the problems that you're dealing with. I don't see how it makes you weaker as a man hold on. I don't see how it makes you weaker as a man just because you have the availability to go see someone about a problem you're facing or something that you're dealing with.
Brother, that was a skill issue. You personalized the question, so you know you're gonna have to stand in front of the bullet. That was on you. Second of all,
to get shot.
You put yourself in that question about a weak man. I did not want to make it about you, but you insisted.
About a weak. You said
you insisted, my nigga. You insisted.
I mean, but Brownsburg, like he said, he think that is weak. That's his opinion. Like, why should you feel so like defensive about it?
I'm not trying to be defensive about it. I don't feel like he really answered the question. Okay. What made someone weak? What makes men weak?
I can tell you if you would just let me, but you keep want to fight about it. That's why I said you put yourself in front of the bullet, my nigga. You made yourself the target of that shit. I can answer you plainly without making it about you.
I'm cool with all the smoke, G. Pause from y'all. Conservative is correct. If you're going to ask him a question, whether you agree with the answer you're receiving or not, you gotta let him finish.
Yes.
And then you can rebuttal it afterwards.
It's crazy work.
Go ahead.
Now, the reason why I say as a man it makes you weak is because it gives you the impression that your emotional reality is your actual reality. As a man, your emotions are not your friend. Most of the time, as a man, your emotions will fuck you up. And so what you have to do is maybe sometimes gather your thoughts, but that doesn't mean you to go talk to some stranger, but don't just give into your emotions. And I think therapy encourages you to like deal in emotionality instead of just getting your life together. So like earlier, even when Sharon was talking and he said he's giving non-therapeutic examples, that is exactly what I was referring to. Talk therapy for men sucks. Sitting around getting in your feelings is bullshit as a man. Go out there and train, improve your life, improve your situation, fix your lot in life. But you sitting around talking about how you feel sad because your mama was a piece of shit, it's not going to help you, bro.
Okay, so what's the difference between that and you being on panels with a bunch of men that probably talk about the same shit? In the manosphere panels and red pill
one
panels.
says that it's therapy and one doesn't claim. One says that it's therapy and one doesn't claim to be therapy.
No,
I don't claim to be a therapist. I literally laugh at niggas, bro.
Isn't it true?
I laugh at niggas, bro. What do you mean?
Okay, isn't it true? You've been in the manosphere and the red pill space for as long as you have. You didn't heard niggas sit up there and let out their fucking emotion on panels and then have all these trippy ass arguments about bullshit. And yet you engage with it. Do you not?
That is men seeking tribe. That is old as fire, nigga.
Do you or do you not engage with it?
That is not sitting on the couch talking about your emotions like a little hoe, my nigga.
Yes or no?
It's not what you're calling it. Whatever that shit you're defending is, whatever you're defending is, that's not what happened.
Oh, that's bullshit. You know it, bro.
Listen, guys.
None of this is therapy for real. Like, what are we doing?
And y'all niggas, some of y'all niggas use these fucking panels as therapy. So I ain't trying to hear that bullshit.
Okay, but again,
that sounds good as a sweet generalization, but that's not gonna work.
That's all I'm saying, my nigga.
Too many mics at the same time.
Why are you going to be so many mediators? Y'all just let it rock.
It's no,
he's right though, Gabe.
Hear anything?
Come on. Y'all have been around.
But I'm saying Free Zone was.
Free Zone can come in next, and I do want to introduce him to the panel. I thank you for bringing him in. Thank you, Free Zone, for being patient. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to
Free Zone. Salute.
No, it's all good. I can understand what Bronze is saying, because for some people they do treat these panels as therapy. And if anybody knows me, I laugh at them niggas, man, because this place isn't therapy. You open your heart out on this net, you have no control over what happens, and whatever happens to you should happen to you, because you probably, and this is where I'll go to Brownsburg, maybe you should pay somebody a private session to have some therapy instead of just going on the internet and telling the internet, a bunch of people who don't even know you, your problems. And so for those people, I agree with Brownsburg. Like, if you're doing that, I'm laughing at you because you're in the wrong place for it.
So
a lot of this is entertainment. You trying to fix the community niggas through the internet, but ain't doing shit in the real world. We just laugh at you, man. That's it. This ain't therapy. Yeah, we just laugh at you.
That was a shot at Sharon again. But listen,
hey, you know what? You know
no,
what?
that's not a shot at Sharon. Don't do that.
You didn't
That's
say
what I said.
that wasn't you. I'm not talking about you, brother. Come on now. I'm not doing that.
Come on. What I don't want y'all to do is be insulting each other for no reason. Come on, Gabe. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But it's not. But because I think it's funny and I think it's false because I say that because I make fun of it. That doesn't mean that like it's a. I mean, I can have a disagreement with somebody about the position because it's not solutions here. It's just like what Frieza was saying.
Yeah, but so the issue is that if I'm having conversations with young men that has hit me up and we have and I'm communicating with them, I'm helping them through things just because I don't bring it out on the internet. I just don't think it's the proper place. The reason why they hit me up privately because they want to have a private conversations. For some reason, now I got to prove that to somebody that don't care.
Okay,
and
before after
solution,
Sharon, I want Tip to go. Let Sharon finish.
No doubt. And I give solutions, and if that solution is not for you, then fine, then let it be. But that doesn't mean that it is okay for you to just insult it when you are not giving any solution whatsoever.
Let me tell you why I insulted because you try to mix the solutions with the effort.
Gabe, give me just 1 second. Let me look because Tiff is going to drop. She is a mom who has a small child. I do want to give her a chance to get her point off real quick, and then I'm gonna let her go. And you next.
Yes, I'm gonna let y'all men fight it out, right? But initially, the reason why I think the whole therapy conversation even came up because someone earlier, I think it was DJ Neff, whatever his name, said something about there isn't like that many spaces for men, I guess, to get whatever it is off their chest, whether it's about relationships or what's going on in their real life and things like that. But it seems like y'all have to come to women's platform to do that. Y'all can't do it amongst yourselves. That's why I'm confused. So now we're here combating the topic about therapy, whether it's good or not. I see why y'all having to find other avenues because I guess therapy ain't working for y'all. But I gotta go. I gotta put my baby to sleep.
Hey, this reminded me of a question.
But these
I have a
dudes
question.
do this everywhere. These dudes do this everywhere. Shout out to Candy Cane, but yeah, they have no control over themselves.
Now, I started out saying that talk therapy for men doesn't really do much. And let me point something out. Mostly women go to therapists right now and have, all that therapy session stuff. How come it's not saving the women?
Don't make it a gender thing.
Yeah,
this isn't a gender war. No. This isn't a gender war. This is not a gender war. This is about the efficacy of this goddamn therapy. How if so many women go to so many therapists, how come so many women are getting worse and worse off mentally? Women are getting worse off mentally. The more, but if it's such a good thing, if it's such a good thing for men, why is it not working for the women who love it?
One mic.
If it's one mic, you wouldn't be talking right now. But it's not
real, bro.
I'm just saying, one mic, man.
It's 3 mics right now as I talk. I know.
Who was in the middle of saying what he was saying, and you were saying stuff.
Okay.
Just saying, one mic, man.
I want Hoodservative to finish. Go ahead and get it out, Hoodservative.
He'll never finish that long.
Simple ass question. If this therapy thing, which women take so much of, if it was so good, how come it doesn't fix the women?
All right. I don't have an answer for you on that. Like this simply started because men were saying there's no safe spaces for men. Again, I'm not pushing the therapy narrative. If you don't want to go to, it's just, okay, let me back it up. How many of y'all watch Kev on Stage? Does anybody watch him? Did you see his most? Okay, so you might know where I'm going with this. Kev on Stage recently did an Instagram post where he basically said he made a post saying, Black men go to the doctor and get your annual checkup. And the men chewed him up for that, left and right. Yes. No, you're gay, this, that, and the other. I wish I could find it. It's on IG. Does anybody on IG that
Candy, they did that to Charlamagne the God. They did it to Kev on Stage. Anytime anything you suggested to the men is gay.
They do it to Sharon too, goddammit.
You saying that men came over to this channel today to complain that there are no safe spaces for men? That happened here?
Just moments
ago. Yeah, somebody said that. Yeah. Somebody said it on panel, and then
been
somebody put in the comment that there is a safe space. It's called therapy, and I asked Candy to leave that up, and then I spoke on it in terms of advocacy because I believe in that, right? For the brothers that say there's no safe space, right? I find nothing wrong with a therapist if that's who you seek, giving you work to do to deal with self. Some people don't have that guidance. They just, it is what it is.
Chicago, when me and you chop it up, don't I always tell you for every solution that a person got a problem?
Oh, facts, yeah.
I in Chicago as a brother that's really believe in the community, actively working and doing all of that stuff. And I pray for him that he don't stress himself out because you do.
Jesus Christ, bro.
And you do.
Yo, man, men are cooked, man. Men are look, you should get help. You should get help wherever you can, right? But the fact that men are coming to a females panel to say that there's no safe space for men is
diabolical.
I
gotta drop, man. Hey, Candy, great stream.
Candy, check your cash app. I gotta bounce too, man. I gotta bounce. Check your cash app though.
I appreciate y'all. Listen, I appreciate everybody who came through. We were having a conversation. I'm always going to facilitate a conversation. That is what I am. Social commentary with balance. That's my whole motto. That's what I live my life by. If y'all wanted to come and have a conversation, I don't have a problem with that. I just wanted to keep it clean, keep it respectful, and make sure everybody can hear the audio. That's it.
I just came here because Candy was here. All you other bums, I'll find you somewhere else to give you the business.
And what I learned today was very interesting. That Candy was really attempting to maintain the conversation about the topic. I was attempting to follow her along with it because I thought it was a great topic. And the main people that complain about this space don't have conversation past gender talk. They find a way to turn any conversation.
They have no self-control, Sharon. They had to call you Sharon. They had to come over to this lady panel and turn it into what about the women? This was about a comment that was made in the comment section, and Chicago responded to it. Then all of a sudden, it spent around to what about the women?
Yeah, it's strange, and I don't know why they want to fight me. So I think it's because they recognize that I do pass on solutions that they just not willing to dive in, and that's fine. You don't have to believe in what I'm saying at all. But this idea, it shows that they actually see that it is a solution to what I'm saying. They just not willing to actually engage in it. Or it's because it's me, like you said earlier. It's just because it's me saying it is a problem. It's weird.
Before anyone else goes, I did get some more cash apps in. I want to thank you for sending over the cash apps. I want to respect the money. I'm going to let Omni up, and then I'm going to play the money song for the contributors. Thank you so much.
Shout out to my.
Sorry, Nightish. I didn't mean to cut you off. I didn't realize you were talking. It was a delay. Go ahead. Nightish, you're going to have to unmute so you can say what you were saying. I'm sorry. Uh-oh.
I was just saying what's up to Omni. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. All right.
It's my money and I need it now. This better have my money. It's my money and I need it now. Pay me what you want. It's my money and I need it now. This better have my money. It's my money and I need it now. Pay me what you want. Like rap, rap, rap. Like rap, rap, rap. Like rap, rap, rap.
Okay. Thank you, and welcome to the stage, Omni.
And Candy, are you gonna read the super chats that came in, or?
Well, I don't normally read them, but I can read them. You're right. So the first one said to keep grinding. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. The second one was for the content. Then somebody donated to the effery fund, which I appreciate you for that. I got one.
Not your cash apps. Not your cash apps. I don't know if you, because if that's not, you don't want to say them right now. I'm talking about the in the private chat. You see where it says, in your comments where it says starred. You got 2 super
Let me
chats.
see.
It says
I got
start.
super chats. How do I get? Okay. I didn't even know I got super chats. So you're gonna have to help me with that.
You see where the button say live?
Oh yeah. I see him.
It's a button right next to where it says start. You got 2 of them.
Yeah.
In the comments.
Yes.
Yes.
Comment section. And your comment section say private.
Oh, I see it. I
comment.
see it. Okay. So it says great topic from Shadow the Titan Wasp.
You can pull it up too, by the way, by clicking it. So that everybody, there you go.
Yeah, click it and
There you
it'll show
go.
up on the screen. There you go.
Thank you. Okay, so great topic. And then you have to learn that some people are a cancer and just want conflict on the stream. They have to be loud, vulgar, and ignorant.
Yes. I think they weren't so vulgar today, but they were ignorant and loud.
There's a lot of F bombs, that's for sure.
My guy Omni, what's going on with you, Playboy?
Greetings.
I joined y'all.
I just wanted to say greetings. I was just waiting because as soon as Miss Candy said what's up, everybody started talking, so I was just waiting for my moment. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
We are doing well, sir. The conversation is about pain, corn, and for-profit, or sinister systemic. What's that? Shaping.
I had to be a little creative. Essentially, what it is, we started out talking about how rage-bait content has impacted society. And do you think it has impacted? Do you think that it's had any impact on society? I am of the opinion that rage-bait content is one of the worst things that has come out of social media, because what it has done is allowed the powers that be to use the algorithm, which I call the beast. It's using the algorithm, the beast, to essentially reinforce all of the negative stereotypes and talking points specifically about Black people.
Yes.
Those things go viral very fast.
Yes. And they put advertisement behind it. So you basically get a Bad Girls Club or Fight Club for lesser words. And they can say they're not acting. That's them actually. So when we be on panels yelling and hollering at each other, cussing at each other, talking about drop your low and everything else, they get to monetize that.
So that's why it says pain porn for profit. That's what it is. They're profiting off of pain porn. They're getting people emotionally riled up. We're having conversations about GMO situations, and then you take that energy into your real life outside of what is happening on the internet. And I am saying that it is detrimental for society that we do that.
And they love it. So that situation like the brother in Vegas, the husband and wife, they got popped by the Latino brother because they took his
buck off of it.
Yeah, they made money off that. That was a thing for a little minute. Now the new thing is Nicki Minaj is supposedly a conservative, and is it about getting relationships so she can get her husband off and get her brother off? That's very salacious.
But that's kind of the thing too, man. Not even to pick on Black folk in this context, but we're talking about Black America right now, and Black folk love a salacious topic until it points the finger at them. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, why you niggas being so gossipy? Like, the shit is funny to me.
And I just want to answer the question. No, I do not promote rage-bait topics. I talk about things that I could build a conversation around. So no, I do not have rage-bait topics.
Sharon, let me ask you this, because the most recent thing we just had was Futon and the comedian going back and forth with each other. They tried to make that the educated lames versus the Pookies and Ray Ray. So I guess the comedian is a Pookie and a Ray Ray, and the other guy is an educated lame. And they sent Grease won because the so-called educated lame away with that. What do you think Grease winning?
Nobody won, man. Everybody's a loser for that shit.
I agree with you 1,000% there, but that's not the narrative. The narrative is that the street won.
I mean, yes, because think about who everybody's starting with, and I agree with that street nigga versus educated lame shit. That was my take on it, but I was kind of low key refusing to do content about the shit because something about it bothers me. But anyway, like the streets did win in the sense that most of your content creators have, in one way or another, sided with Corey, who represent the street. And so, I mean, there's a lot of commentary on that. This is like back to the educated lane shit. Black folk like the street aesthetic, even if we agree with the principles of the educated lane. They'll never let them win because they like the street vibe.
So what that says to me is that when you blanketed in black folks, that we have an anti-intellectual sentiment. So if I'm able to articulate something, I'm a lame. And if you can be the most ignorant, whatever else, you're
Remember
a real one. You real.
When I
hate that narrative.
Nightish, when I first got on this panel, let me say this last thing. I'm gonna pass it to you real quick. When I first got on this panel, y'all were having a debate about delivery and how to entertain the audience. And that's just the simple fact. I mean, this is for everybody, but double for black folk. If you want a black audience, you have to be a lot more entertaining than the next, because black folk don't just take medicine. They like to dip that shit in candy first.
Yeah, I disagree. I'm not going to jump the gun.
I don't think that I agree with that, conservative. I feel like right now, yes, we have more viewers than I've ever had over here, and that's because we are multi-sharing the stream. But I have my regular people that show up on a regular basis, and I don't have to shuck and jive for them. Just my natural personality is enough to be entertainment and also give the information.
I know you're right about that, Candy Cane. Her natural personality is
stop shooting, Knight. The thing is, you have built your audience, man. In the same way I built an audience that's not necessarily the mainstream. But I think what I say about the mainstream black audience is relatively true. We like entertaining shit. We don't necessarily want to have a bunch of heavy shit on our lap all day.
And Hood, stop beating up on me, brother. I don't want no smoke from you. Let's have some peace.
Listen, we're not even fighting right now. Shit, we fought before. Last thing we doing right now is fighting, my nigga.
Brother, you got it.
We're not fighting, bro.
I'm just trying to get a word in edgewise.
Okay, Margo. All right. So this is what I don't like about that situation in particular. You know, for those of you that don't know and haven't been by my Omni Etc. channel, it's a gaming channel.
Yeah, word up.
You know what I'm saying? Also, Word Up Podcast for sure. So check out the Word Up Podcast if you want my social commentary. But I like to play games in my spare time. And one thing that I understand about gaming is class systems. You know what I'm saying? How they're built for a reason. You know what I mean? You have people that do range damage in the back, people that are more melee inclined, and fighters tend to stand in the front. What I don't like, when I say that, what I don't like that the black community does is they pick a school of thought, and that school of thought is supposed to be the ruling school of thought, instead of everybody doing what they do best, and we work together for the greater goal. Which is what I see in video games. You know what I'm saying? Everybody works towards a goal based on their class, based on their role. But I think we do, in our community, we do what is, okay, educated lames, y'all gonna have to stay to the bag. Nerds have no place in the black community. Y'all don't do nothing. Y'all don't help nobody. Shut the fuck up and sit down until we call on you. Or you know what I'm saying, the reverse of that from the quote unquote educated lames is, okay, you athletically inclined individuals, you niggas that love to fight, you have no place in the community. Y'all are supposed to shut the fuck up and do whatever we tell you to as educated lames. I think it's destructive. I think we need to find a way to work together. I think everybody needs to have a role, pick their role, and know their role, and know what they need to do for the greater good of the community. That's what I honestly think.
So that's why
the infighting is what's destroying us. We're spending so much time competing with each other. We're not, and I just had this conversation with my gent the other day. We're not competing out there with other groups.
With your what?
Competing.
With your country son. With your what?
My gent. That's why I say, instead of saying, you know what I'm saying, my nigga, you know what I'm saying?
Ain't that like a Florida word, man? They don't say that up here.
I'm from Louisiana, so Florida adjacent, I guess. But yeah. we spend so much
So I have
time
a
competing
question.
with each other that we
I-
don't actually compete with other groups of people, and they're competing with us.
But Omni, we need to do more of this right here.
Yeah.
So we all came over here to Candy today. We need to pop up on Sharon. We need to pop over on yours. We need to collab more so people understand that it's not just one voice.
And I appreciate all of you being here. First of all, I do want to say that I thank each and every person who has slid through today, who's hit my panel, hit the chat, hit the like, sent a cash app. All of you, thank you so much. I do want to highlight this question. This is for the rest of the panel. Liberated Soul Rebel wants to ask you. He disagrees with the answer that Sharon gave and said for the other people on the panel. What are your thoughts on in regards to if Sharon's channel plays into the topic, which was rage bait content being detrimental?
We need to have all voice. Can you put that back up for a second?
Sure.
Yeah, okay, so he said F that. I can't accept that and dip, man. Oh my, we all into the hood kind of conversation. Because that was BS. For the other people on the panel, what are their thoughts in regards to Sharon's? I think Sharon is doing a Sharon thing. We should have all those different voices. Y'all want everybody to be one thing, and we are not a monolith. I don't agree with everything Sharon say, but he says enough things I do agree with.
I think why Sharon gets that tag or whatever the charge is right now, which I tend to agree with, is that I've seen too many. All right, put it like this: today when we're talking about therapy, right? Several times I've heard you say the phrase "these men, these men, these men," and you'll title your show sometimes "These men need this, these men should that," and so it creates a rage bait topic in and of itself by castigating all the men. As if when the dude read the definition of therapy, he said it's to fix a particular like an ailment or some type of condition, right? What is wrong with all black men? Because that's kind of that's the way you're titling approaches the subject, as if you're the one perfect nigga and all these men need whatever the fuck you have to offer, and it's a rage bait conversation after that.
And I think the same thing about the term as a man. Whenever I see 19 Keys, Mike Rashid, and all them talk about as the alpha, the true alpha, as a man, it's the same thing. It's triggering. No,
you know what's triggering? You know what's triggering, Nightish?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What's triggering is me having to deal with Sharon when we're talking about abstract concepts when he doesn't know what an abstract is. That's what frustrates me.
Hello.
Like we're talking about abstract concepts here. What's an abstract?
Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
You came into the building and didn't acknowledge.
Hi. This is the Candy Sphere.
Right.
And it's usually customary to come up and say hello before you start dragging anyone.
No, I'm not dragging Sharon. I'm trying to instigate in him self-introspection. A self-analysis.
But
Paris,
before
you came
you
in
start,
someone's house and you didn't acknowledge whose house it was.
Yeah,
No.
You came in.
Omni, we have to call him respectfully by his name, Incelius.
No, I like it when Reese calls me Imperious. I like Imperious.
Okay. So I'm not familiar with you, Imperious. I've heard your name throughout the spaces, but my name is Candy Cane. Welcome to my channel. I appreciate you coming through.
And Incelius, she's sweet. So
She sounds pretty sexy. I will say that her voice does sound pretty sexy.
I'm sorry. I also have Gabe behind the stage. I'm bringing Gabe back up as well to the panel.
And I didn't ask this brother multiple times, are those black Air Forces in this avatar?
I believe
this appears, guys. Yeah, whatever. I'm just ignoring that. This dude drops N-bombs on black space panels. So
only after people call me a
just want to give you a. I just want to give you a heads up.
First.
Okay. I just want to give you a hands up, Candy Cane. So just saying.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Gabe. So Imperious, this is not a gender war channel. This isn't like a rage baiting channel. I don't do the N-word here. Like, I facilitate conversations between people who can articulate themselves without having to insult each other. That's what we're doing. So
Oh, I'm
if
good
you
with
can,
that. That's refreshing. I'd love
okay,
to have
so
an intellectual conversation.
Oh
Let's see
my
if we
God.
can. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can
So the
voyage into the unknown.
conversation was about therapy. And,
Yeah,
and what
I
was
was
said
gonna.
up here, is that whatever you may be going through, don't go through it by yourself. Inform other people. And you can do what Sharon said, which is walk 15 minutes that way and then 15 minutes that way. Get some of that estrogen up out of your body. Drink more water. Eat more vegetables.
Are you gonna let him give his input, or are you rehashing everything that was said on the panel previous? Because I thought he was about to talk.
Why are you talking?
Because Imperius was about to talk about his perspective, and then you started to rehash everything that was said.
So you protecting him?
That is kind of true. Thank you, sir.
Imperius?
I'm just saying. He just started going.
1 second. Hold on. Before we get to any of that, Imperius, can you acknowledge the lady of the house?
Yes. Good.
Oh my
Hello,
God.
Hello, Candy Cane. Or is that Candy Cane or Cane? What do I call? I don't know what.
it's
what would
Candy
you-
Cane Lane. You can just
Okay.
call me Candy Cane. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah. You know, if you're a cane. Well, I'm not going to make sexual innuendos yet. We'll
This
wait
is
for that.
you better not. This
We'll
Candy
wait. We'll wait for
Cane.
that. We'll wait for that.
We ain't gonna call you the C word.
No.
Candy Land.
No, I was good. No. Okay. Well, we'll move on from there. But I mean, in general, I think therapy. I mean, the overall therapy. You're talking about like self-care, just like maintenance of your mental and physical health. I mean, you don't need like therapy, like sit down cognitive behavioral therapy to have therapy. I mean, I would, a lot of men benefit from stoicism. You know what I mean? The ability to train.
No, they
yourself.
don't. They suffer from stoicism.
No,
can you let him talk? Let him finish.
Well, I think stoicism.
Why
is
do you
just a
keep
different-
defending Imperius?
Because I'm trying to hear the perspective so we can move forward with the conversation, but you keep butting in and adding your commentary.
Against me because I'm a guy. When you interrupt me,
I don't even know you, man. I'm just saying. I'm trying to hear him out.
1 second, sir. If you're gonna do that,
Okay.
say, God, night, can I speak? Then I'll listen.
All right. Can we let him? If he did come up, he did come to contribute to the conversation. Can we allow him to go ahead and speak? I would like
That
to
is
hear
a
him
vampire,
uninterrupted.
Candy. You let a vampire in your house when you let Imperius up here. He may act.
You see?
And whatever else.
But see, I
Candy, he just don't let nobody talk.
I don't think that's fair, Nightish, because he hasn't been here yet, and I know he's been around to other spaces. I've heard some things, but I'm not going to insult this man or label him until he has disrespected me.
Okay.
Imperius.
Yeah. Can I just one tangent? If I was a vampire, would you call me Blackula, Nightish, or no? Because I think that would be or Vampire in Brooklyn.
Make
Remember
your
that movie?
point. Don't make it about me.
Okay. Anyways, no, that was a good movie. I was just saying. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I think therapy is just look. Men and women have different ways and different like needs, especially too. I think women have different kinds of like emotional and mental needs than men do. I don't think men always need to talk or express themselves verbally to other people, while men can physically exert themselves or have projects that like entertain their mind or keep their focus. I think women are more communal, where they need to talk or interact with people for, healing or whatever that. I think there's differences in that metric between men and women on what therapy or healing or self-care actually is. For example, like men, I think the problem is a lot of days now men are too emotional. We've been raised for 60 years on a female model. Like when you go to public school, you're raised on a model of how to teach girls, not boys. Like to sit there, like for example, little boys, when they're sitting there in their desk folding their hands in kindergarten and first grade, that's not normal. Little boys interact with their environment through touch, through physical boundaries, through understanding it in that way. Little girls are very able to be controlled and regimented in that way, to go down, sit all the same, that's how girls learn. Little boys learn through touching, through falling, through hurting themselves, through different models of the brain. And so like when we talk about therapy and all that stuff, we got to narrow it down to like, what is therapy? Are we talking just about physical care? Are we talking about like cognitive behavioral therapy? Are we talking about like emotional introspection? Like what are we talking about? Because you could go into
I think it's probably the combination of those three.
Yeah, I mean, you can go because I mean, then there's shadow work, like then there's Jungian psychology where you look at your ego, your super ego, your id, your shadow, all those different layers of your psychology and your personality and your essence of who you are. So I mean, there's a lot of different things that you would go into that. It's not just therapy. Like, what are we talking about? That's why I went back to abstract. Therapy is an abstract concept. So we got to narrow it down. That's all.
The question that I originally posed. The question I originally posed was in regards to how men handle, so if you don't believe in therapy, and I'm not pushing therapy, okay? My question was simply for the men who have stress, how do you deal with stress? How do you alleviate your mental woes? What do you do? If you don't believe in therapy, what do you do to recenter and regulate yourself to make sure that you are mentally as well as you possibly can be? What is it that you do? If therapy is not the answer for you, what is?
Well, I think therapy, we're talking like Western notions of cognitive behavioral therapy. All that really is introspection of analyzing and stopping and reflecting as why do you act the way you do, analyzing that and trying to learn from that action. Like that's essentially like if you've been to, if you've done therapy, cognitive, they actually give you paperwork to take home to write down and take journal notes and like look at and be like, okay, why did I do this in this situation? Why did I think that? It's self-analysis. And I think everybody has to do that, but that's not necessarily therapy is what we're talking about, where you sit down with a therapist or open up and do. Men don't necessarily need that. Like I would say that men, when they get stressed, the best thing is to physically exert males. Like put them to some kind of physical exertion, whether it's working out, building something.
That was suggested already.
But that's first of all, you have to exert testosterone. Hold on, but you've got to exert testosterone. Testosterone levels and all those those chemicals in the brain are completely different for males and females. And so when men are physically exerted, the endorphins in the brain are released in a different way than women. So that's why men in general, it's good to physically, because men are beasts of burden. We're existing to break our backs. And that's what makes innately we feel good when we physically do something with ourselves. So it's both a physical exertion and a mental stabilizer for males, but not necessarily for women. For women, it is connection to the group. That's why women feel the best when they're talking to other people in a group.
So Nadish, do you have a therapist? I know you were trying to get in there. No. So if you don't do therapy, and if Imperius is saying that some physical activity is typically how men release, how do you release?
All of those. I've pushed myself physically. I've been to therapy. I've been to family counseling.
You push yourself physically?
Yes, I have. I'm 56 now.
Currently?
Currently no. I don't run like I used to run. I don't lift weights like I used to lift weights. I don't fight like I used to fight. No.
Oh, okay.
But that's obvious. So you just wanted to state that.
No. I'm just asking. I'm on
camera right now. I'm on camera.
I'm just asking.
And I mean, I think another one's faith too. I think religion and faith is a big deal to people. I think the idea if we're nothing and it doesn't matter is a big deal in society as well.
That's symbolic.
No, it's not.
It is.
Hold on.
I brought that up earlier, man. The therapist is just a priest for secular fucking people. That's all he is, a secular priest, bro.
No, but it's not. It's nihilism is the problem. Look, nobody is an actual atheist because nobody actually acts like that's the reality.
No one is either. They're not religious nor nihilist.
No, but
they just are.
But that's nihilism. Nihilism is not the denouncement of anything. It's the unacknowledgement of it. It's just we exist. There means nothing more.
When you come up here like you daddy because you're a pale skinned individual. Don't do that.
Who gives how do you know I'm pale skinned?
Nidus, you have pale skin too. What are you talking about? Look at your skin.
How do you know, Nidus? How do you know I'm not super? How do you know I'm not
keep defending this individual? Check.
Nobody's defending me.
Yes, he is.
He's not defending me whatsoever.
Just because you're up here with your veil on, we've heard what you said about women. So now that you want to come up here and now act like women are human beings, you said
Nightish. Okay. Let me
Listen,
engage
slow
with this. Actually, no, let me engage with this philosophically. Nightish. Can you tell me why philosophically, other than you don't like what I say is wrong? Other than you don't like it.
See, like and dislike is a you thing. I don't really care, but I've heard what you said.
But if you didn't care, you wouldn't bring it up right now.
But okay, wait, pause. Can everybody pause for me? Pause for 1 second. Because if I have to be honest, if I'm gonna judge people by what they previously said on other panels before they got to me, then nobody would be here. Fair enough?
Dang, what I do?
Is that honest? My heart is broken.
No, listen. What I'm saying is, okay, again, Imperius is here right now. He's just contributing to the conversation. I've never done any bounty or anything like that, so I don't even know how that works. Like, again, we're just talking. He was contributing to the conversation. He was not rude. He was not racist. I didn't hear him insult anybody. I heard him get insulted, and I'm not caping from Imperius. I would say, well, what did
I'm
he
not.
say?
If you felt
Wait,
I
no,
insulted him, I
no.
wasn't trying to insult him.
Well, Nightish is fine. Me and Nightish have a
No.
it doesn't bother me.
Hold on, before you go, Imperius. Sharon, what did he say to you that I missed? Because I'm trying to keep up with everything.
He came up and he said Sharon doesn't understand abstract, and so he was insulting my
You're right.
intelligence.
He did.
No, you don't though. Like that's. Let me all see that.
Gabe, come on. Listen.
I didn't call him an ad hominem attack.
That's Gabe, eh?
I didn't ad
Now
hominem attack him though.
understand.
I attacked his foundational arguments on how he stands on his foundation. Like I didn't make an argument like I said, Sharon's an artard that doesn't know anything because no. I made an argument against your foundation about you prescribing.
Can you not
activity.
insult him? I don't want anybody insulted.
No,
on the
that's
panel.
not
We don't have to do
insulting.
that.
Have to go that far.
No, but it's not insulting. That's not an insult. For like, look, Sharon says like you should do this or you should do that or people should do that. To be able to prescriptively give an analysis like that, to say you should do this, you have to have a foundation, a solid foundation to explain why you're prescribing that, other than you yourself don't like it or it makes you feel good or you just respond emotionally or reactively to something. There has to be a reason why you think or believe something other than I just don't like it. And that's what I was trying to get to with Nightish. Nightish, you're saying I say mean things about women or whatever. Other than
I
the
didn't say
emotional...
anything about you saying mean things to women. I'm just saying that whatever character this is you playing today, this is not you.
No,
And
it
I
is
didn't
me.
know that
No,
was-
it's a dude.
You know what? What I will say is, Nightish, I push. Everybody knows who has come around my space that I push for respect on these panels. I'm not gonna let y'all go at each other like that. Like, again, it's not a mudslinging channel. We can have
Am
a
I
conversation.
being disrespectful?
No. I'm not at all saying you are. I'm not saying you are. What I'm trying to explain is maybe that is the reason why Imperius is up here where you're saying he's sending a representative. Maybe he has gotten the vibe that he can't wild out like that. I'm
It's
not
the first
saying
time
that
I've been
you
on
are.
your show. I'm not going to come up here like ridiculous. Even at Sharon's show, Sharon, remember, first time I was on the show, it's pretty like cordial and stuff. Like, no, I'm not going to come up on your first show and go nuts.
I mean, you gotta wait till like the second or third. I mean, just give him a chance.
Like at least the second show to where, like I know the person. I can't just go into say the N-word the first time. It's like where you save something to everyone. You know what I mean? Come on, guys.
I came up because I heard him say a word and I just wanted to explain it to the panel. You said nihilism. And I want you to explain what a nihilist is.
A nihilist doesn't believe in anything.
I didn't ask you that. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I wanted to. I know you, OG.
Nihilism is a philosophical belief of nothingness. There's no meaning behind it. Everything's just random cause and consequence. There's no meaning behind things. It's just random chance. There's no a philosophical meaning behind anything. There's no. It's emptiness. It is it's knowledge, value, baseless knowledge and values. That means the knowledge that is there has no actual larger reason. It's just there.
Yes.
French existentialism, Albert Camus, the book The Stranger, all of that kind of represents
all of
nihilism.
that right there. And I didn't know that was gay-based, so now I understand why you keep talking to me.
All right. Come on, man. Come on, just keep it pushing.
Nice to see you, Gabe.
All right, so I do have Uda
Can't
on
say
here.
the
Uda, I
same.
don't know if you wanted to jump in. You've been sitting here quiet for a while. Also, Omni, you've been quiet for a while. I want to give you both the opportunity to speak if you have anything to say.
Y'all just gonna skip past that?
To skip past the nihilism?
Yes.
I'm forgetting what your original question was because it seems like we're taking a left-right turn.
Yes,
It's about pain, corn for profit. So it's about using us in these
It's about
situations.
therapy.
Yeah, no. We got it. It ended up there, but that's not what the original concept.
Yeah, it wasn't about therapy.
But nihilism would mean that the pain that someone experiences is meaningless. It's just there. It's a reaction from nerves. The emotional pain is just an internalized chemical imbalance. It's not meaningful. It doesn't matter.
Well, we're
That's
talking
what
about
we
the profit and
that
front pain.
with Candy's perspective, it's like about solutions, etc. There's no room for that in nihilism. Right?
Exactly. It's just there's no exactly. That's what I'm saying. You're right. Exactly. Exactly.
I know, bro. That's why I'm here. That's why I came back, because I understand that shit. But it's like, you can't have a productive, beneficial conversation, right? If it's what Sharon say, we're here for entertainment, etc., etc. This is why this shit be so fake. Because it's like on one hand,
exactly.
we
You should
can
be here to say
entertain
something.
and engage in, but if we have cats that think like this, and we understand
literally hasn't said the word
nihilism,
since I've been here.
Yeah, there's no. What are we talking about? Y'all are playing games.
Sharon needs a hug, dude. He's been kind of beat up on a little. Look at him. He needs a little hug, Sharon. I will say that. He's sitting there just kind of unmuted, just listening, getting abused, It is kind of sad.
No. It wasn't
we're
to
not
beat
even
up
having
on
a
him. It's
conversation
just
about
to
the topic.
understand, like, okay, if Candy's like, yo.
I mean, push the conversation in. I mean, like like jump in
I
there.
have to understand what the premise is. We talk about what we talk about.
Okay, so
they threw in porn. I mean, corn and all these.
Okay,
other,
so
what is
let
it?
me
That's
slow
been
you
the
down.
title the whole time.
Let me slow you down. Okay, so the title was trolling. That's what I do. I make a little bit of a salacious title.
You got some of the
Yes.
master trolls.
Oh, that's my speciality.
So I was trolling a little bit with the title. It says pain porn for profit. That's about rage bait. That was the whole purpose of that.
Yep.
Rage baiting, and I said that I do believe that it's a system. Oh, now I'm getting tongue tied. It's sinister systemic shaping. So essentially, what I'm saying is that the rage baiting content is impacting society. It's leaving a lasting impact. And that was the point of the stream initially. Now it has moved a few different times. I'm okay with it moving as long as we stay within the realms of we're not up here slinging mud at each other. That was the whole point.
Okay, so when it comes to rage bait content is just another form of marketing, emotional manipulation marketing. Okay, they get you to move how they want you to move, based off of manipulating your emotions. Once you understand that, you should be able to develop a sense of discipline so that you are not then manipulated through your emotions. So adults should not be easily triggered in 2026. That's my take.
Well, Omni, also people need to understand that troll is the other half of the world, the other half of the word, but trolls are really trying to control you. So you shouldn't feed the trolls. When the trolls are on attack, you need to understand that they're trying to control you.
Absolutely.
And when I turn off these internet cameras, I'm back in the real world. I'm not thinking about what Imperius said the other day.
Oh, yes, you are. Come on.
Yes, you are. Like, literally, you came to the panel, and that's the first thing you talked about.
Yeah,
the first thing you talked about.
This terminology troll actually comes from gamer culture.
Yes. Exactly. It's from our 90s culture.
It started in gamer culture. I was a part of many gaming communities.
I just want to be clear. So nothing about this conversation is.
I'm sorry, Naf. I was
just talk over Naf because he just don't have no control.
So you know what I'm saying? Again, those games that I play with the classes, they have trolls in them, and the troll at the bridge asking you the question, and So trolling trolling has been around for a while, and so it was a way for other gamers to get under each other's skin. And the thing that Nightish just said is a very old phrase: don't feed the troll, because the troll grows in power the more that you entertain the troll. The more that you acknowledge the troll, the more power they have over the conversation, and
it's a feedback loop.
The greater ability that they have to derail the conversation.
Yes, it's a feedback loop. It's
so
literally a feedback.
People play GTA live when it's people from everywhere. It's a bunch of little kids calling you N-words and every single thing. They wilding out. If you don't understand what you're walking into, you will be highly offended.
Yeah. Well, that's from the whole Call of Duty freaking Counter-Strike lobby when we were kids, dude. Like, I remember every single person I remember playing Counter-Strike when I was in high school, literally had the N-word in their screen name. Every single person had some form of the N-word.
I can tell.
Oh yeah.
So why is it so effective? Let's keep pushing it. Like, why is it so effective?
Because
people are soft nowadays.
Because human beings. Yeah. Well, there's this softness, but it's more that we are in a society of conformity.
I believe it's because people don't understand what Omni just said. They don't understand where it came from. They don't understand the purpose of it, and they don't know that the whole purpose is to make you feed them. If you get
I don't know about
to the trolls,
I'd like to jump in real quick if y'all don't mind.
Hold on, okay, go ahead, Sharon. I'll do. Yeah, I think I just lost the point. Wait, real quick, go ahead.
The point of this whole thing was so we could get back to some kind of foundation where we just don't allow trolls to keep on controlling the algorithm. We need to do something to combat this algorithm of just people wanting to fit into a caricature of just being trolls. They don't have no substance behind their saying. Just come on a goddamn panel and just start hating on somebody where they're not even arguing what words I'm saying. They're just arguing whatever this narrative of Sharon Bracey is. Most of these men that be having these conversations that say they disagree, they don't even disagree. One person came up here and said how Sharon don't know what he's talking about, then go ahead and repeat exactly damn near word for word what I said. And so if we could just get into a honest mode and a base where we just paying attention to truthful things, and then we could just move forward instead of worrying about who the person that we like or dislike say it. If the person that you dislike say something, you want to go against it just because, which is just ridiculous. And it's just weird to see men do it on a day-to-day basis.
And Sharon, I've had this discussion with you multiple times. It's just because it's you.
No, but isn't that kind of a reflection of
people can be infamous for effery and bull crap. Like, people can definitely be.
These people.
You said one sentence. What you mean? Lack of self-control.
These people are people who are leadership in business and whatever else, but they get on this panel and they don't have no control over themselves at all. And
what are you talking about? A lack of control? Wait, please, let's be very specific.
And I'm not.
Let's be very specific here. Like, what are you talking about?
Come on, I want to be you both.
Listen, I'll be quiet. I have no problem with being quiet when I'm being quiet. But when I'm talking, I don't want to fight with you to be able to talk.
Come on, man. Just say your point, man.
Y'all really don't have no argument against this man. Y'all just don't like the man.
That's not true.
Not true at all. So I think that a lot of time what happened. I think a lot of times people can be infamous for something, and that person goes from place to place to place in similar spaces, and they continue to peddle the same double talk and hypocrisy. I think I didn't come up here to go at Sharon, but I think Sharon always shows himself. He's hypocritical. He talks about these solutions. He talks about these things that men need to do. But a lot of times he feeds into the trolling. He feeds into the effery. He feeds into the buffoonery and the rage bait that happens online. So nobody is targeting Sharon. I think that let me finish. Nobody's targeting Sharon. Sharon, let me finish what I'm saying, and then you can go right after me. Let me finish what I'm saying.
I'm going. Candy Cane said himself. He can speak. Sharon is here. what I'm not going to do is infantilize Sharon. He's a grown man and he's here. So he will be able to speak for himself. Let Gabe just get it out.
Right,
And
but
Sharon
Gabe is talking
I
about
got
me.
one more sentence. I got one more sentence, Night, and then you can just go right afterwards, or Sharon. And what I'm saying is that, oh my gosh, didn't she just say, "Let me finish"? So you talk about people controlling themselves. You can't control yourself.
So stop talking
Riddle
about
me
me.
that.
Just talk about Sharon. Leave me out.
I'm not talking about you. This is literally
You
all
said
about
that
Sharon. What are you? Here we go.
started the conversation saying Mike is doing blah 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 and Sharon. So if you're not talking about me, don't say my name. Just talk about Sharon.
Gotcha. So what I'm saying is that people can be hypocritical and they show themselves eventually where they want to dibble and dabble into the trolling, the rage baiting, but then they want to talk about being solutions based and be serious. But the thing about it is that it's very difficult to go back and forth. You cannot go back and forth and be considered serious or people take you seriously. You want to be taken serious one day, but the other day you want to troll and sensationalize things. I think that that's the problem, is that people treat people exactly how they act.
All right,
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
Sharon,
Like
you
I don't expect people to not
hold
hate
on,
me.
Imperious, before you go, I want Sharon to get a chance to speak. Go ahead and rebuttal and say what you have to say, Sharon.
So whenever somebody say I'm hypocritical, they don't actually have something that I say is hypocritical. They will go and say because I allow people on my panel and have discussions, or I engage with a troll, that's me being hypocritical. Me attempting to have a conversation with multiple personalities is me being hypocritical. But if you go by the words that I'm actually saying, not by other people's words, right? The same way how Candy Cane is not saying Purist can't be on her panel because of what other people said he's done in the past. She's going by based on what is going to happen right now. They want to try to give me as they use other people as a way to dislike me, and they have no real point in what they're saying. You got to go by the words that I am using to say that I'm hypocritical.
So even on this panel today, you were saying that you recommend therapy for men because they have these issues, they have this and that going on. Somebody asked you, do you have a therapist and have you engaged in therapy? And you said no. And you said because of the process of elimination, if these men have nothing else that they could do to relieve their stress or not have any issues, then they need to go to therapy. Somebody who has no experience with therapy recommending therapy, that's hypocritical, Sharon. And that's why I say you're going to show yourself every time. And then we're going to call it out. But this isn't targeting you. This is targeting the crap that come out of your mouth.
So again, yeah. So I gave a sequence of things that can happen. And then when all those things fail, I suggested therapy. I gave a multiple of different approaches that people can go ahead and engage in. And then if all those things you don't want to do, then I said, hey, maybe therapy is a good thing. I never suggested it as the first thing. So I suggested something completely different from what you heard, but you want to paint a narrative that I was being hypocritical because I was able to have a clear thought to say, hey, we should try to do X, Y, and Z first. And if all those things fail, I believe the last result that you have is therapy, is what I actually was communicating.
You're giving advice without experience.
That was me and
I'm sorry, go ahead, Candy K.
That was me and Bronsberg that actually said something about therapy. Sharon said walk 15 minutes this way, 15 minutes that way, something else.
I was about to actually say
that suggested therapy.
Nightish, I'm sorry. I'm going to end up shutting this down within like the next 20 minutes or so because it's getting long. I'm going to lose my ability to speak. But yeah, Sharon did not come up pressing therapy first. What I heard him actually say out of his mouth was about physical exertion. And it seemed like a few different men agreed with him. Physical exertion is what helps a lot of men. I don't see what is wrong with suggesting multiple tools, even ones that you haven't necessarily tried, if other people can vouch for those tools, if other people are also suggesting those tools. Like, I can tell you what I've heard works. I can't say that it has personally worked for me if I've never tried it. Does that make sense?
It was not contextualized like that at all, Candy K.
I don't think anybody gave him a chance to. They jumped on him as soon as he started talking and didn't give him the opportunity.
Came out of his mouth.
I can speak on that.
I don't think Sharon is hypocritical. I think he's disingenuous.
Right.
I don't think he genuinely is sincere in that he cares about what the other
Not at
side.
all.
I think he's more. It's not hypocrite. I think he just doesn't care. He's insincere. Yeah. When he presents like, oh, I want this person to come up here. Because when he has somebody come up there and you actually corner him on an intellectual like argument, like for example with me and the abstract, he calls me, homosexual. He'll mute you. He'll do it. If you wanted to engage with the actual philosophical or intellectual argument, if somebody came up, you would argue that. You wouldn't say, "Oh, well, when someone comes up here and they talk, they're obsessed with me, like I'm like they're gay or something because they want me up on their panel all the
That's
or they
not
want
what
me."
this show is about.
No,
though.
but dude, Nightish, I'm making. Hold on.
And look, I think the thing to combat this thing is I need to see Saran in the layer. I need to see Uda in the layer. I need to see Kenny.
Nightish, did you even understand what I said?
I don't care what you're saying at all.
I know.
Vampire.
I know you've had a hard on for me since I got up here.
We need to combat this nonsense where people hear you say something and then just put some.
Okay, what
words
did
in
I
your
say
mouth.
wrong? What did
The
I actually
two
say?
people, the two people
You're doing
up
the
here-
very thing we're saying you shouldn't do.
You asked me a
You're reacting to
question.
an
You
emotional
asked-
level out of something
you
instead of
asked me,
engaging
it's
with the
not
intelligent.
emotion, but you
Yeah,
asked
you
the
are.
question.
You
asked the
literally have a
question,
hard
let
on
me
for me
answer
ever
it.
since I got up
You
here.
asked the question and let me answer it.
Okay, the question was, what did I say right there that had anything was incorrect?
And
What
it's
was
my
incorrect
point.
about what I said?
You're an emotional individual.
What did I say?
Listen, I don't know. I don't.
Who is that?
Nightish.
See, like, man, look, I'm trying to be very polite, but every time I talk,
And I
Nightish has a
appreciate
hard
that,
on.
Nightish.
Let Uda
And
talk.
Imperious.
No, I know Nightish. Who is the other dude?
Nightish and Imperious. Before y'all go, I don't want to turn this into a fight if we don't have to. Like,
No,
for real.
I'm not going to talk to Imperious no more. I want Uda to speak.
No, but
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
because dude, you're simping and you're mad that like
No.
another guy that would like me more than you is here.
no.
That's the only reason that you're mad at me.
What he's doing.
Dude, stop
is
being a
we
simp,
can-
bro. She's not your chick.
Bro, we can have this conversation on his channel. That's what
Right.
he's saying. We can talk about it over there.
Engage with the intellectual idea, and you're sitting here interrupting me, and you're saying we shouldn't care about the where the argument comes from. We should engage with the idea, and you right there in that example couldn't do it. You
Can we
couldn't
have that
do the very
conversation?
thing. That's hypocrisy. That
Can we
is
have that
hypocrisy
conversation
right there.
over
That's
there?
not Sharon. That's
Can we
Nightish.
have that
argue with
conversation
you.
on Nightish channel.
I'm
though?
going to be quiet and let
Not
Uda
here.
speak.
Okay, and before Uda goes, and Uda, thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. I have Tiffany back on. Tiffany Starborn. Uda, you are more than welcome to go ahead and jump in here. I appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, man. I'll just be with the conversation, man. I don't want us to get always too far past what we're trying to get to. You know what I mean? As long as the people get the solutions, if we coming up with solutions or whatever we coming up with, let us come up with those things. You know what I mean? As far as therapy go, I say, hey, if it works for you, it works. You know what I'm saying? I'm not against it as far as therapy goes. You know what I mean? I come from a place like the streets, bro. That's where I come from. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, if we had a way to talk about it, we would have never been unaliving each other out there. You know what I mean? I have a lot of friends that are not here on earth right now. And some of the rest of them are doing 10, 20, or 30, 40 years in jail, maybe more. So I think being able to talk and vent things out, and be able to speak about things, maybe, because I've tried therapy before, I went there, but when I was even thinking about going there, you know what I mean, it wasn't for no emotional, no girl or nothing like that. But even when I was thinking about going there, being in my hood, they're like, come on, bro, you don't need no therapy. You ain't crazy, man. Shut up, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like the thought towards it. You know what I'm saying? So it made me kind of say, you know what? I don't know. Let me try it. Since it's like that, I said, no, you know what? Let me just try it. You know what I mean? But sometimes you need ways to vent. We need things, not just physical stuff. We need ways to vent. You know what I'm saying? This is why people's outside unaliving each other in my environment, in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? Because they can't speak on things that they actually feel. So even if you might try therapy, because however you could get it to vent and to speak, you know what I'm saying? It's a good thing. You know what I mean? But even if you try that, that might start to open up the conversation. Because when I went there for whatever, I thought like there was a lot of things that I was around. I maybe was partaking in some of the stuff too, but you know. But I got there and she started to ask me different things about, you know, like, what about like relationships? What about like stuff like that? And I began to start speaking about other parts of life too, which could kind of open you up to having certain conversations. You know what I'm saying? So I think you could take that from therapy.
And just so I could build on that, that's why I said in the very beginning, I said that's why I mentioned have a journal so they could have some self-reflection, have a schedule for themselves so they can follow that. So if it strays off of that schedule that they plan for themselves throughout the day, they could get back to it. So I was given multiple of different avenues that you could do to try to regulate all these different things that happen to you as a human being.
I mean, in general, also stay so busy, your mind has no time to think of the negative emotions. Like literally, there's an old saying called idle hands are the devil's workshop. Like if you're so busy and you're so worn out from all the shit you're doing, you start to forget the things that are bothering you, and time goes by and you're like, oh, I don't even remember that. Like staying completely busy and focused on one thing or a goal or something like where it takes up your entire mindset or your entire focus will make it so time passes and that emotion, that negative emotion, because remember, it's just a moment, time will pass. Emotions are just a moment in time.
Hey, Candy Cane, hey, look, this is how close my journal is to me. My journal is right next to me, so I can write down the information that I have in my head so I could try to do some self-reflection about it either late on tonight or early in the AM. Right next
Salute to that, though, for real, bro. But you know what I'm saying? Imperious, to me, right? Sometimes it's more technical, you know what I mean? In some ways, you know, because I think that, you know, people got to get it out though, regardless of the fact, I think that people got to get this out, you know what I mean? And, but how do you go about doing that? You know what I mean? How do you really go about doing that without getting into the real conversations? Because even if you go to even psychology, the 101 is like when you go into ACEs and the adverse childhood experiences and stuff like that, 90% of the issues that adults have came from childhood. Point blank. So even So even if I come at, like, let's talk about slavery, right? So let's think about we all traumatized from that. So to even go back and to even bring getting our mind out of this, you're gonna need some kind of thing, man, because it's trauma. It's all trauma. Whether we think we live the trauma or not, we all are a part of it. We are.
That's what I mean. I think the only way to do that is to so devote yourself or focus your mind into a goal or a concept that that your mind is almost numb to the outside or the effects of any kind of stimuli aside from that. Like I mean, if you want to look historically, the reason why black people got through slavery, got through Jim Crow, got through the Black Codes, got through Reconstruction, got through all that stuff is because inherently they were very, very religious. Black people were very religious and they devoted their entire lives not to getting things or not even to their own. They devoted themselves to a higher power. And when you devote yourself to the concept of something like eternity, it doesn't matter like all the other stuff, the nonsense that you get from here, the words, the uncomfortability, all that stuff seems minuscule when you look at things from a 40,000 foot view.
No,
Andy, drag him over there. Drag me over here.
Hold on, man.
I'm sorry. Who was trying to cut in? I heard somebody speaking, but your mic is low. Is that you now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Because hold on, man. You talk about millions of black folk that served in the military, myself included, that sacrificed. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I ain't like the way that this conversation was going. Like, hold on. What are you talking about?
In which way? In which way, bro? In which way you mean? Because you're saying, like, in which way so we can really understand what you're saying?
Which way is, like, all right, they already were, like, forcefully and then voluntarily, right? Because this is our country, right? I was one of them cats that was like, you know what? Maybe I should look to leave and go somewhere else. And then I start hearing other things and it made me rethink, like, wait a minute, y'all right. I ain't going nowhere because we put in our ancestors, etc. So I don't know what bro was talking about.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
So
I was just saying something else. That's what I was
Y'all was
saying.
confused before I interjected. Like, but
okay. So I see what you're saying.
From trauma. I was just saying from a trauma perspective, even though none of us have been in slavery, we might think that slavery never affected none of us. And some people be talking like they've never been affected by it. But we've been affected by it. We've been affected by systematic things that's been affecting us every single day. It's changing the way we live, the way we think, and everything around us and about us. You know what I'm saying? Unless you do some real digging, soul searching, researching history and all kind of things like that, then you start to unwash your brain or your mind out of certain things. But this is just conditioning at this point, you know what I mean? And that's trauma. We're conditioning the trauma. And this is why a lot of time we act out the way we act on panels or in real life or in our relationships and all of those things. And it's based on some of those things. It's trauma, you know what I mean?
I think though what in general all therapy does, every kind of therapy there is, every form of therapy teaches you that in the end you're in control with how any stimuli affects you. Whether you feel like you're traumatized, whether you feel like you're affected, whether it is all, if either of you are, even if you are, anything that affects you, you determine how much it affects you, and you determine how much it deviates your life from what you're doing. The essence of therapy is to help you understand in a cognitive way that no matter what happens to you, no matter what comes across in your life, you have the ultimate control of how those things affect you personally.
Yeah, and I just want to.
Sharon's next. Go ahead, Sharon.
And I just want to build on like when we do have these conversations, we gotta also recognize the people that is just constantly trying to find a negative and a problem in every situation, right? I said that I have a journal, they want to call it a diary. But maybe they should just put out what's the difference between a diary and a journal, even though my brother Omni had his journal right next to him as well. Also, I got a plethora of books behind me as well. And it is okay for us men to recognize the difference between a diary and a journal, right? A diary is more of just jotting down what happened to you throughout your day or throughout something that's important to you, that is traumatic or fun, whatever that case is. But a journal is more about putting down your thoughts, going through it introspectively, so you can really focus on your thoughts, so you can focus on the next day or whatever your goals are. So that will be the difference between a diary and a journal. Just for the people to know.
I just think we just get so caught up on words or this and this and that. Don't matter, man. It's about journalizing, writing down your thoughts, getting it out. I'm an artist. I'm a person that write music. I write scripts. I'm an artistic person. So I was given from born ways to vent out things that I go through. Some people don't have a vent. They don't have a way to get that out. They don't have a way to get their thoughts out. Some of my friends couldn't. He picked up a strap and he went to do that. They don't have a way to vent their thoughts. Sometimes you got to get to vent. That's why we hit these panels. You know what I'm saying? This is what happened. This is what this is. So it could be therapeutic. You know what I mean? But it's all about getting these thoughts out, because I think that's a lot of the problems that we have, especially from men to women. How do we communicate to our women? How are our women communicating to us? You know what I'm saying? This is what it all comes down to in a nutshell. How are we communicating to each other? Because a lot of problems or things that I went through, if I communicated in a different way, I don't think I'd have been in that situation at all. You know what I mean? So communication is a lot of times just the issue. So how do we communicate? You know what I mean? And communication is a skill. It's an art. You know what I mean? It's also a talent. You know what I mean? Because to teach someone, you got a classroom full of students. You got to be able to give them all 30 students this knowledge. One getting a spoon, one getting a fork. One, you got to give the knowledge by hand, because everybody can't process the knowledge the same way. You know what I mean? So I think communication, how we communicate, is a big thing.
So can I speak on this? Because I've been disrupted for a minute. Shout out to Chanel.
Before you go, Nav, let me, because Sharon been trying to tag in for a hot second. Let him go ahead and get his point off, and then I'm gonna let you go after. Sharon has been trying to cut in for.
Cutting in? Are you serious? You know what, Queen? You got it.
No, listen. I'm trying to facilitate this conversation the best that I can.
I'm always going to, you know what I mean?
We here, Nap. I want to hear what you got to say too, bro. We here, bro.
Absolutely. I want to hear what everybody has to say. That's why y'all are here. Sharon, would you like to go ahead and respond?
I hope I ain't bring no stress to your show, Candy. I was just excited to build upon the topic. I didn't mean to bring any kind of situation to your channel at all. Man, it's it just shows that we have a long way to go. The people that complain the most about not having these conversations, or it seems like they are the main one that fight these same conversations. Like when we attempting to literally in real time build up a conversation that is centered around communication, moving forward without it being who's right and who's wrong thing. They are the main ones fighting against it. It's something that we gonna have to have a conversation about as well. Why do we want to focus so much on what is not happening? while it is happening. It is a weird thing to see it in real time over and over again when we say, hey, let's get together, let's have some intellectual fun. We can still have jokes and be funny. We can educate each other, still have a great time, laugh, joke, scream, yell, be passionate about it. And then while we doing it, they will tell you why we can't do it. And attack the person that would attack people that is attempting to do it. It's the weirdest thing. Man, I'm gonna have to write this down in my journal and do some focusing on this. Goddamn.
Sharon, does your journal have a pink cover or no?
No, don't do that.
Naf, I want you to go ahead and go next because you were waiting, and then Imperial.
I appreciate that because that's exactly like, all right, we appreciate that. This is why you have no space in the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need a roof or something like that. You know what I'm saying? We call you. You know what I mean? Like some outside exterior. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, I don't want to go into insults. I want you to go ahead.
Oh, all right. You're right.
Thank you.
No. But the thing is, he is the idea, and he lives on that and says like, yo, this is about entertainment. You have cats that be like, yo, I don't have Sharon's following. I don't have, you know what I'm saying, his engagement. And they be on some, I want Black people to get together. Can we engage in this? Can we do that? And I'm not taking away from the fact that he doesn't, love and respect Black people, because that is what it is. But that entertainment stuff be hurting us, you know what I'm saying, to a certain aspect when we talk about, yo, we're trying to look for solutions and be like, yo, I need to know who's for real and who's not. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, can I ask you a question there based off of what you just said? Would it be fair to say, because you're saying people with smaller channels who are actually looking for solutions don't get the support that Sharon is getting? Sharon is here supporting right now somebody with a smaller channel who is actually trying to facilitate that conversation.
And this shuts everybody else down, because now nobody else can say nothing because it's somebody that's bigger than the smaller channels. They got to listen to what the other niggas say.
Is that what I've done? I feel like I try to give everybody the opportunity to speak.
I'm not saying you, but
okay.
I'm on YouTube. I'm on TikTok. I don't have if I really put money into these spaces, I can clear all you niggas out. But that's not what I'm on, because I understand the time it takes. I literally shot this type of content from my home. Like when I had you know what I'm saying, a studio, and was like, okay, this is what we do. That shit costs money. So I support anybody that's willing to do it, because it's not easy. I want that to be clear. It's not easy. And then on top of that, if you have government jobs or something that could be, somebody could be like, yo, I saw your video on YouTube or on TikTok or whatever. Now your livelihood is involved in it. That's something else you might have to consider too. That I support anybody that's willing to, have the conversation publicly, but I understand it doesn't come without a cost. So I'm trying to understand, how do you reach a space or a point to where it's like, okay, this is going to cost you something, depending on who you are, where you are, right? Some of y'all not in the DMV area. Y'all might be in small towns or whatever. I know where Sharon is, but I kind of forget. And I make that on purpose because I like what he's doing and I want him to continue to do what he's doing. But if he's not in a metropolitan area where it's political, to where it's like, yo, he gets big enough, they can blow his shit up and change it. Like Candace Owens, gotta hire personal security and all that. I would never wish that on him. But that's where we're teetering at. So that's why I kind of like hesitate
I'm a
with these.
little lost because it sounds like you low key are kind of saying that Sharon's gonna have like hitters out here for him. Is that what I'm hearing?
He's not the only one though.
Well, I hope that doesn't happen. No matter
I
what you may think of Sharon and his
I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'm not wishing that. What I'm talking about is the ability to have a open conversation without political association. That's what I'm trying to get at. And it sounds like misconstrued because I'm like tap dancing on it because of like I don't want to like be like, oh, I'm saying XYZ, but that's literally what it comes down to. It's like, yo, can you openly speak to and say something and you agree with this political party or you disagree with this political party? You know what I'm saying? Can you speak freely? We're talking about
But I don't
democracy.
understand how we got here because we weren't really talking necessarily on politics so much. Like again, we started off talking about how rage bait content. So help me bridge the gap because I'm trying to follow you and I'm getting lost on the politics aspect of it.
I tried to sneak something in there. I'm gonna fall back.
Okay, all right. Does anybody else want to jump in? Uda, did you get the chance to finish your point? Omni, did you
Omni
want to
could
speak?
anybody, Sharon, Omni could get in. I'll get it back.
So I'm actually going to I'm going to shut this stream down here shortly. I also want to say if any of you guys stream and are planning to go live next, I can go ahead and do a redirect so that the crowd comes with you. It's up to you.
So I think we really got away from what the purpose, and this is why I was confused because it seemed like every time we were trying to, speak on the subject matter, we started having a conversation about the conversation, and yeah. So back to rage baiting. I think people need to develop, and it's not just black folks, even though I said black folks earlier. I just think adults in 2026 need to develop emotional fortitude. We talk about emotional intelligence all the time. I think that also needs to be laced with a sense of emotional fortitude. And what I do is whenever I see something triggering that triggers me, I go ahead and research it immediately. It helps me deal with, what it is. I've just trained myself to research the thing that I find emotionally triggering and then it's not triggering anymore because they're trying to get you in a gotcha. Again, whoever puts out the rage bait content, they're trying to get you to move off of emotion. And when we move off of emotion as adults, we understand. We see it with kids. When kids act out of emotion, they do what's not in their best interest. So as adults, we should know that when we're acting out of emotion, we're not acting in our best interest, right? So with that, we just need to develop emotional discipline and say, okay, that was insulting. That was emotionally triggering. What can I analyze about this piece of content? Is there any truth to it, or is it all BS and lies?
That was really good. I enjoyed that one. That was really good. And I just want to say the only reason why I shared it is because I was trying not to be no main focal point at all. I was being quiet most of the time as much as I possibly can. I was not trying to interrupt anybody. I just wanted people that might know my channel that might not know Candy is streaming. I wanted them to see her channel and get an opportunity to enjoy her content. That's what my main focus was. I was not trying to attempt to be the main character in this situation at all.
Excuse me for a second, Sharon. Have I ever pulled a gun out on your panel or anybody else's that you know of?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay, I haven't, but Gabe is in the comment section saying that I've actually put a gun on screen, and I've never done that. I've cocked one. I've cocked a few times. I've cocked it to let you know that I have it, but I've never put it on screen because I know that would destroy, saying that piece of content or get someone's channel demonetized. I would never do that. I just want to clear that up.
Candy Cane, hopefully I didn't bring no strangeness to your channel. Hopefully I just brought some eyes to your channel and nothing else. Hopefully I didn't try to be the main character in your channel.
I didn't feel like you tried to be the main character. I felt like somehow or another the panel turned you into a main character. I don't feel like you came over with a takeover spirit. I do appreciate you coming up. You were respectful. We had a civil conversation. I mean, you did add to the content, and I appreciate anybody who can do that. You know, even with the people who have an issue with me letting Imperious up. Again, I am here to facilitate social commentary with the balance. I've never met Imperious before. This is his first time being introduced to me, my first time being introduced to him. Have I heard other people and what they had to say about this man? Yes. But my thing is always before I give you, before I allow anybody else's opinion of you to be my opinion, I'm going to formulate my own. I'm an independent thinker, y'all. I always have been. So unfortunately, that's going to rub some feathers. And I hope it's not going to chase any of my loyal day ones away. As you can see, the whole point of what I'm doing is to show that we can have conversations, we can have civil discourse, and have fundamentally different ideas and still get along. I think we demonstrated that in real time.
And I think only DB described that what we need to be doing with each other, right? Because, you know, DB know who you are, but they know you stream. And just, you know, I want to, we need to just do a better job at respecting each other and helping each other build, because we have talent in our own, whatever they want to call it, space, sector, whatever they want to call it. To me, I think it's kind of nonsensical to call it, to limit ourselves to some kind. This is YouTube. YouTube is huge, and we need to help each other. That's how we get our, whatever y'all want to call it, section of YouTube to be huge. We could do it ourselves. Why can't we have the best Saturday night show? I don't see why not.
Yeah, I think I'm just call it what it is. I put it on the screen. I think some people feel lesser than when certain personalities are present.
That's just what it is. But regardless of what, I just think that when it comes down to it, because sometimes you be like that. We on panels. Sometimes people got smoke. It be like that. You know what I mean? It's energy. You know what I mean? And it carries on. But regardless of the fact, when we on these panels, there's still people in the chats that's listening to the conversations, that's going to gain from it or not from it. Even these videos are up. You know what I mean? They last next year. Somebody might pick up this video 5 years from now. You know what I'm saying? So what are we adding to the conversations? You know what I mean? So for me, we got to always still make sure that we still get into the conversation and making sure that whoever's in the chat or whoever may pick this video up tomorrow, or next year, whatever, they can also take a jewel from it. You know what I mean? Bro.
Yes, exactly. That's my goal here. Like the whole reason I started streaming was because I got tired of seeing the same old rigmarole. I got tired of men versus women. I got tired of, you know, the anti-blackness, and I decided I wanted to be the change that I wanted to see. I didn't care how small I had to start. I didn't care if people weren't really vibing with the topics or the content. I felt like if I put it out there, they will come. And eventually people did start to come in. They started to understand. And for the people who want a break from whatever's going on in the space and they just want to come to a place where they can have a normal conversation without, you know, all kinds of explicitives flying back and forth, that's what we do. This is a chill spot. So if you want to consider it a chill zone where we can come, relax, rap, have conversations, and remember that we're human. I'm talking to you not as an angry black woman and you an angry black man. We're having a conversation. That's it. That's all I want to do.
Absolutely, that's spot on, and that's how I build my podcast. I got people coming over there now, just off of the premise that I set up initially: wary observations, righteous discussions, unite people. It doesn't matter how long it takes, but people will come across it eventually, and people will gravitate to it. You just have to stand on your standard.
Yeah, that's a good thing too. But it also comes with us sharing, supporting, sharing, hitting like buttons, doing the little things that's free. You know what I'm saying? We're always looking at someone else and saying what someone's not doing, but we're not doing nothing. We're looking at Umar Johnson or whoever else that's not doing, which we all know ain't doing it. But I'm just saying, we always looking at somebody that ain't doing it. And we not doing it. You're like, you ain't. So if
You know
we
what
can't do certain things for each other, which is free, you know what I'm saying, then what is we really doing? So it just comes down to stuff like that, you know? Simple
I
stuff.
find that a lot of people will issue out critiques. Like they'll critique the content, they'll critique the content creator, but they'll never sign up to actually do it themselves. Like if you don't like the content, create the content, make the content. You know what I'm saying? My thing is if it's something you don't vibe with, you can click off of it. You don't I don't know. It's always been weird to me to hate watch people and like try and tear them down. Um, that's not really the point of all of this, but I'm just saying, like, if you want more positive content, create it. It's not that difficult. I learned to do it. If you need to get with people, find you a mentor or somebody that's going to sit down and show you how to work StreamYard or whatever system you decide to use, do that. But like to just constantly complain about, oh, I'm sick of the gender war. I'm sick of MAGA. I'm sick of this. Okay, so then if none of these other spaces are fulfilling your needs, maybe you should create your own. And if not, then maybe it's not for you.
Agreed, man. Agreed, man.
So,
and that man is agreed, man. Agree with you.
Going back to the therapy conversation, I find it very therapeutic to become the person that I needed once upon a time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about. That's why I let the therapy conversation roll, was because it's not just about, like, that wasn't to bash black men. Black men go to therapy, all y'all are fucked up. No, people need to figure out ways to manage stress, ways to cope, ways to make themselves better. And I was, y'all started on the conversation. It was about y'all. I wasn't really trying to interject it. I just wanted to facilitate it because it seemed like that's what the men wanted to discuss while they were here.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I think that everything sometimes I think that we just gotta, me being from the place I'm from, you know what I mean? It's just an inverted way of thinking. It's just like reverse. Like everything that's supposed to be good is bad. And everything that's bad is good. You know what I'm saying? Like my friend that was a virgin, my homeboy, they joked him up and he was a virgin. But like, damn, he's a virgin. He ain't got no diseases, no nothing, no anything. He actually good. You know what I'm saying? And if we would have believed in the Bible that mommy done told us, he actually all right right now. But I'm just trying to show you, like, everything is just like inverted. You know what I mean? So to talk to somebody, I told you, like, when I was like, you know what, my sister was talking to me. It was the person that came and said, you know what, I think you should go to therapy and just really talk about some stuff too, man. I was like, man, come on, I don't need that. She's like, no, what, no. Me and my sister was talking. And I was like, you know what? And I went and talked to my homeboy about it. A couple of my friends said, come on, bro, you bugging. You ain't crazy. Automatically, they told me I wasn't crazy, but it's not about being crazy. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's about venting, it's about speaking, because I didn't know what I was there to expect. You know what I mean? But then I did it. I didn't do it for that long, but I did it. But then when I got there, she was speaking to me and I ended up speaking about other different things that I wasn't even thinking about. You know what I mean? So it kind of brought things that was in the back of my mind, maybe in the recesses, to the front of my mind. You know what I mean? And this is how we begin to start to really deal with situations or real issues at hand. When an outside person kind of talk to you about something, say, well, you ever thought about this? You know what I mean? Sometimes we really need those mirrors. You know what I mean? We need to talk to someone. I don't care who it is or what it is, but we need to talk to someone. For real.
And do you think maybe perhaps people recommend therapy because it's a lot easier to talk to a stranger who doesn't know you and isn't going to judge you versus having that conversation where you can't always go into the real truth of your situation with friends and family because you don't want that level of exposure. Sometimes we like to keep a covering over ourselves before we give everything to everybody around us. Do you think, okay, would you agree with that?
No stakes, absolutely. I've never been in therapy, but that would be the appeal to me. But I live in an era in which therapists get on TikTok and talk about their patients. You know, talk about their
they don't
patients
help
on
the
TikTok.
cause. That's true.
So it's not for me.
But I think that's what I think that's why the panel became addictive, is because it was a place where they could communicate with strangers that don't know them personally, and they could just communicate. I think that's what it was intended for originally. That was the law of it, and somehow it strayed away from it being therapeutic, so people could go ahead and move to therapy if needed. I don't know where that switch happened because I wasn't on YouTube for that long to understand where the switch had it, but I know by the time I got here, it was already a little toxic to say the least. And we need to learn how to communicate effectively. It's very simple that men need to understand that it is okay to recognize your emotion. It's not okay to live in your emotions, right? You're supposed to be able to recognize and understand when you are angry, and anger should not be the only color in your crayon box. You need to have a plethora of colors to paint with when you are going through your day-to-day basis. Majority of men, they want to take away colors. They have happy, sad, angry, and mad. And that's the 4 colors of the crayon box they want to use. And this is why they, in today's time, have such a hard time communicating with women, because women paint with a plethora of colors. They are more and ready and willing to just whatever color that they feeling right now, they willing to tell it and express it. And we be trying to communicate with our women. And she like, hey, I'm toy cursed right now. We like, but that's blue. She like, no, it ain't really blue. Blue is the base of it. But, so if men can learn how to understand their emotions and paint with different crayons, we probably will, both parties would be just better to move forward. We won't have to have shows where it have to have a devil's advocate. We'd be able to have a great show and we all could be just having a good time and having good opinions, good thoughts, and it still be great without it being somebody got to go to fisticuffs verbally.
Matter of fact, Sharon, I'll give you a story from me and my wife that articulates exactly what you're talking about in the ways that women communicate. So when I first got with my wife, we were catching the bus, you know what I'm saying? And we would kick it after work on the bus route. And we stopped by a Dunkin' Donuts shop, and there's this drink there called a Kool-Aid. We haven't been in many years, so I don't know if it's still there. But I bought hers and mine, and the moment that she takes a sip of hers, the way that women describe things is even different from men. It's like the way when she took a sip of hers, she said it tasted like cartwheels, roller coasters, and happiness. And I couldn't even compute what she was saying at the time. I would be honest with you.
I take sugar, hotness.
Yeah, it was a very sweet drink. It was very sweet. But yeah, so I get what you're saying about the way that women communicate. They communicate in different dimensions that men do.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, I want to.
Go ahead, Candy.
I want to thank all of you gentlemen for coming through. I want to ask if anybody has last thoughts that you want to conclude with, and then go around and let everybody get it off.
I started up. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you. Keep on doing your work. I will help you out in any chance I can, with any capacity I can. All you gotta do is ask. I'm very easy to get in contact with. And shout out to you. Keep on grinding. You're on the right path, and you're gonna go through a lot of bumps in the road. So be prepared. When you're doing great things, you tend to do some strange things.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Sharon. Omni, you want to go next?
My number one thing at the end of most shows is to say, lift every book and read. Read more, experience life more, go outside, touch grass. That's what I got for you. Y'all take care.
You have a book recommendation? Because I was talking to a couple of homegirls from YouTube, and we are considering doing a book club. Do you have a book recommendation?
Oh, my number one all-time recommendation for anybody, man, woman, black, white, brown, especially the maladjusted that's trying to adjust. Sharon knows this. He can lift it up. It's the 4 Agreements.
Oh, I have read that. I've read
The 4
it myself.
Agreements.
And I got all 4 of his books too, back there too. I would like to give one. The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F.
I love that.
Oh, yeah,
that was a good book, bro.
It's a very fun read. It's funny.
It was orange, right?
Yeah, it's orange. It's fun. It's educational, and you can read through it quickly because it gets you engaged really quickly. You don't need no dictionary. I think that's a great book to get into the funness of reading, and without it being some kind of novel.
Yeah, I'll give y'all a book too, because I love reading. I like all of those books too. So I like psychological books, but I would say The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. You know what I mean? And then the second book is The 8th Habit, From Effectiveness to Greatness. I think it's a real good book. You know, check that out.
What's funny is both of those books, the one Sharon just recommended and the one you recommended, are in my Kindle. They're audio books that I haven't gotten to yet, but I do have them downloaded.
Yeah, man, those are kind of books. You know, I like reading like the 48 Laws and all those types of books too. You know what I mean? But 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is a really, really good book. I think you should read it, man. Trust me.
Yeah, both of those are good. And if you like autobiographies, Kevin Hart book is hilarious. It's like reading his stand-up. Like when you start reading his book, you hear his, well, for me personally, I heard his voice in my head the whole time I was reading his book. It was actually phenomenal, and I literally laughed out loud while reading. That's how funny his book was.
All right, I will definitely check it out. I appreciate it. I want to say again, thank you to everybody who came through this evening. Thank you to everybody on all the streams. We appreciate you. I just want to say, as my final words, be the change you want to see. Like, I could spend all day and all night complaining about all the things wrong with the world, or I can try and do my little part to leave a lasting impact. It's your choice. You have 24 hours in every day, and you get to decide every day you wake up how you're going to spend that day. And it's a blessing to be able to wake up and choose how to spend that day, because it's a lot of people that you know, I know, he knows, she know, we know, that don't get that opportunity anymore.
Salute to that. Salute to that. Salute to Candy. Salute for having me. Salute